Some T-Mobile guy came to my house the other day, and he was like, "Hi, I'm from T-Mobile, whatever." And I was like, "I already have T-Mobile, so we probably don't need to talk anymore." And he was just like, "Cause I did. You not I already
No, I
have
remember. I
T-Mobile.
remember. I remember.
Like I'm already gang. I dapped him up. I'm already gang, homie. You know what I mean? I feel you. I vouch for you. You know what I'm saying?
But they got
You
that
know
new
what I
home
mean?
program.
But he was like, "Nah, but I got that good internet." And I was like, "Do you know?" I was just like, before you continue on with your spiel that I could tell you're about to just ramble off and tell me about the wonders of T-Mobile internet. It's like, hold on. Do you have gigabit internet? And he was like, "No." Now he was like, I felt he didn't ask me, but he was like, "Do you?" And I was like, "Yes." And if you don't have that, then good day, sir.
Podcast and stuff. We just started for the second time. Yeah,
Yeah, your computer
my shit is
is trying
crazy.
to tell you. Your computer's basically trying to tell you it's trying to retire, dog.
Yeah,
Like
man. It's been
I'm done.
10 years. Every time we start this podcast, it fucks up. It don't work. I gotta do secret resets and shit. It's mad wild.
Well,
It's mad wild.
are you gonna get a new? Are you gonna get a new computer? What are you doing?
I ain't want to, man. That shit costs money,
You're gonna wake up. You're gonna wake up one morning. The computer gonna be gone. It's gonna. It's
I
gonna
don't
be a
know.
little note.
Real quick, I don't
It's
know
gonna
if
be
you
a
wanna.
little note.
I don't know if you wanna lower your cam because I only get like your eyes right now.
Yeah, no, I see it. It's purposely like that. I
All
know what
right,
I'm
if that's what
doing.
you
All
want,
right, you
that's
know
what
what I'm
you want.
saying? Yeah, I'll lower it when I'm ready.
I got
You know what
you.
I'm saying?
I got you.
You know what I mean? Agent Smith is some shit maybe below here that you're not supposed to
I
see.
got you. I got you. My bad. My bad.
Now I'm just speaking to the audience as well, in
Yeah.
case they like, yo, where's the rest of Agent's face? You know what I
Of
mean?
KS. I feel the toughest thing about this, I do a pretty good show summary these days, I think. Toughest thing every day is like, I don't remember this guy's name for the week. Like I just be picking one and I'm like, I hope this is right. I'm like,
Mm.
like, I don't know if it's KS. I don't know if it's unknown. I don't know if it's the Watcher. I'm like
Well, you know the plague doctor
Plague Dot.
because
Yeah,
he
he the most
clearly,
obvious
yeah,
one.
he legit, yeah. I mean, but
He the most obvious one. We was talking about rap and shit, but yeah, that shit. The moment's done. We can't go back in time. I
you need
was
to get a new. You're gonna wake up. I was telling
I
you,
was gonna
your
talk about
computer
that. I was gonna
is
talk
gonna
about that.
leave.
So it was Prime Day. I started looking at computers. I went down the computer spiral. Honestly, it looked like for $500, right? For $500, I can get a laptop. This is me looking at laptops. I'm not really looking at building a desktop because honestly, like even though like one of my friends was like, "Yo, you can get more power in desktop." I know that, but I feel like unless I'm gonna build the beast, I don't know if there's any need to have a desktop. Like why not just have all my tools normal? I don't plan on streaming any concerts anytime soon, but it's like
Right.
if I was gonna just for whatever reason, if I was gonna stream anything mobile, it would be nice to just like now I can use my Windows computer instead of my Mac, and two, like my it's mobile, like I don't gotta bring no heavy shit. I just want all my shit mobile, So I was looking, I was like, all right, this $500 one could probably get the job, but I was like, in my head, I felt like, yo, man, if you just go up to a 1100, it'd probably be something fine. And yeah, I found this 8-core Ryzen laptop, and it has a NVIDIA 1600 series in it, like video card. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. It has a strong chipset, and then it has the video cards, which the Macs can never have because they're on Team AMD right now. So I was
Right. They're
like,
known to not have good ones.
yeah, yeah.
Or beast.
So like I was like, all right, maybe that's probably the best of both worlds in terms of me not wanting to max out a Windows computer. and it's a laptop, you know. So I was like, maybe this is probably the one to get right here. So I don't know, man. I really want to get it, but if this is gonna be every week, like, it may finally be time, you know. It may.
Your computer's like you like a week away from that joint hopping in the Uber and bounce. You know what I mean? I got the internet. You don't think I could get an Uber, dog, and use your credit card? You bugging?
Hey, man, that shit only works on OS. I mean, right? It only works on mobile. You can't Uber on a desktop.
I'll sync to your phone real quick. Now, I mean,
Yo, this computer can't turn on. How's it gonna sync to anything? I don't got
Yo, it's doing that on purpose for you. I mean, it's telling you something. Do whatever it want. We podcasting again now, right? Obviously, it can still do stuff. It's
That's
choosing not to. That's Windows. That's the OS of choice. That's actually what it is. It's the OS of choice because that shit could choose at any given moment to do whatever it feels like doing.
Precursor to
That's
Skynet.
what I've noticed.
The precursor to Skynet.
Nah, it's the precursor. Like, you know what? Yo, I'm launching the nukes at y'all. Like, I'm tired of all of this. Whatever y'all got me processing. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I don't know. It's there for me. If I want, I saw it, but there was no actual Prime Day deals. In my head, I was like, maybe try holding out for Black Friday. But honestly, like if I think logically, is there really gonna be a computer on sale for Black Friday? At least I'm thinking just Amazon. I'm sure on the internet, I'm sure somewhere there's something in the sphere that I would like, but I'm not scouring the entire internet for this shit for my B computer. You know what I mean? like
yeah, for sure.
So
for sure,
we'll see.
Very well. The computer chronicles are pending.
They continue, man.
The funk is still pending. Okay. We talk. We don't have to hop super back into music. But you know what the feeling I was getting from what I was trying to say about those people that I heard that I don't know, they didn't sound as polished or whatever.
Yeah.
It made me think more like, yo, I think you could just get on a beating and get it all. I don't know if these people have connections or whatever is why other things are happening, but as far as like the product itself, like these is just loops, right? Westside doing loops. Some of these that was kind of just loops that I think I sent you to. Really, if you listen to it, it's not no crazy thing, I don't think. But I think you could just.
But you see what you said right there. It's kind of evident of what I was saying. Like, I think to everybody at this point, like the newer people, it's just music. Like I think growing up, especially where we growing up, you know, too, like even if you never rap on a record, just being nice, right? Just being nice in bars, like that's kind of something that will garner you respect, you know, where we grew up, you know, like even if you never decide to like rap and make songs, you know, but if you like, oh, he an ill freestyler or he just an ill bar spitter, you would still get a certain level of respect from that. But I think now people's just looking like, yo, man, like it's like, you know, we can all be rappers, right? We can all be beat makers. Like it's all just music, and there is kind of no like I want to be like that. It's just like, yeah, nah, just do whatever. And then in the nicest way possible without saying people suck now. Like there's actual evidence of like people kind of doing whatever to the point that is the new normal now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I think the implication is that if you're not being super technical or doing some of the old stuff, that you're like being lazy or that you suck. Some of these people, I get the vibe that that's not necessarily the case. Maybe like they just don't have those. It sound like in some cases, I don't know, right? Like they don't have it. Maybe they don't want to do those things. They don't care about them. They're focused on maybe just getting off the content, maybe, but they're still abiding by the rhyming part, right? Like nobody's just not even rhyming no more, just talking like literally like offbeat. Like no one's quite doing that yet, right? Like people are still rhyming and keeping it somewhat to like the most basic requirements, right?
I mean, you say that, but you know, like,
I mean, I'm listening to the dudes. I hear people are rhyming. You know what I'm saying?
And then when you hear UK flow, again, like maybe they have an upbringing that
I'm not counting. I'm not counting.
when you hear,
I'm not
because
counting
even
those.
modern day, but you can go back to our time UK flow, and it was just like, yo, what is these guys doing on these beats? Like clearly they not hearing the count, you know, like they just kind of doing whatever they want on this shit.
But I'm not mad at them because they almost have, they might as well have like a different language. You know
It's
what
a
I'm
different
saying? Like,
culture, yeah.
it's still English and we can still understand what they're saying, but like they don't speak like us at all. Like they don't sound like us. Their accents aren't the same. It is, to me, is the equivalent of listening to Spanish rap or listening to Drunken Tiger.
Tell you
Listen, you
something,
know what I
Spanish
mean? Like
rap
I
and
don't.
Drunken Tiger were both on beat.
Yeah, no. I'm aware. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But to the ear though, I don't know. Maybe in the UK, like it was on beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Maybe there's something
That's what
there
I'm saying.
that
So
we don't know.
I never, like I guess was too hard on it on that aspect. I didn't want to listen to it because it was off beat and sounded wild to us. Like, oh, these dudes just bugging. They don't hear the beat, but that dude Blueface is the California dude. He rap off beat on purpose. It sound retarded to me. I don't like it, but maybe some people kind of like that thing, and he's doing it on purpose. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like some people that aren't. I don't know if it's the stuff they're saying. It's just like the mix of all, just the music. I guess, like you said, like all of it together. I'm like, yeah, I got it. Maybe you can't
And
do this or
there's
that,
no
but I
gatekeepers
still,
now too, because now we can all,
yeah,
you just go
yeah,
get your computer. You believe, because if you showed up back in the day like that, right, they would have probably looked at you funny unless somebody believed in you, you know. But they would have probably
yeah,
been told. But now it's like, even if you're like, man, well, I ain't gonna make it, but you can still put it out. You can still put out that crazy shit out there now, and if it catch on, it catch on, and the audience catch on. Ain't no gatekeepers. So if you're doing this
yeah.
weird offbeat shit, yeah. So
And the ill part about like lyrics and rapping, I guess, is it's just ill thoughts. Like some that people are just expressing them like radically different. You know what I mean? But I think too, like I don't know, maybe also just hearing some people's thoughts is ill, where like that will kind of, I guess that's the content, but just like the way they're thinking and put it together, it might not even be because of none of the technical stuff, but still something about the way they said it and the beat and the music and everything just still makes it like, yeah, this is kind of ill. Because those two songs I sent you, I kind of Mach-Hommy. I don't know if that's the dude rapping though, but I think it is.
I think so.
Um,
That's his name. Oh, I mean, that's the name of the artist.
I don't know if it's the dude. Yeah, I don't know if that's the one on the tracks because he kind of has the same people a lot. But I like both of those songs. I like some of the songs. I like the beats. But yeah, I don't know. Even that style, like West Side's my favorite from Griselda. He's still my favorite one, and he's, I think, technically right. Like not maybe not like the what we would normally say, but I don't know. I like that. I don't know. Some of these different kind of ones I kind of like. But it can't sound like trash though either. Like it's still something that like,
yeah, it still gotta be a something.
punches still is genuine or something. Like I still feel something from it. It's not just like, oh, all right, this dude really just,
it's the vibe.
yeah, it's still something about it. So
Yeah, because
yeah,
like that's what I was saying. Like West Side presents a vibe. It's like a vibe there, like a confidence in that style. Like, man, I don't need no drums, you know.
right,
Boom
for sure.
bap.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
that?
yeah.
What's boom bap? I don't know what that is.
Nah. I'm okay with all of the other stuff.
Yeah.
If it's good and I like it, but I'm still always way heavily towards the people that are like super ill with words. You know what I'm saying? Like the poet laureates or the best writers, novelists, whatever you want to call it. In the realm of words, the people that do that the best, like I'm gonna look at them as the goats always. So if you're not writing, if you're not really doing it in my Mount Rushmore or whatever, you can't exist there. But you can still be super ill though, and like very enjoyable and all kind of other accolades. But the GOAT at rap, I don't care what era we going, Okay, 2029 or 2074. If you ain't got hard bars, you can't claim that. I mean, that's in the roots. That's in the roots. That's from having the illest snaps. That's from
It's mad like it's funny because I grew up with that stuff and I always wrestle with myself in my head because I feel like I be judging a lot of like my lyrics on that criteria, even though at the same time I don't want to be, because I don't know. I mean, one, it takes skill to get to that level, so I don't know if I'm like judging myself too quick because I ain't been doing it my whole life. But then it's also like I don't like not that that presents like a limit or a constraint, but it's just like I also want to do a bunch of other shit, and it's like I don't necessarily even want to be on that level. But sometimes I almost feel like in my own mind peer pressured because that's what I came up with, like so I'm almost judging myself on that, even though I don't even write like that per se all the time. So
I don't think you should, but you should recognize that that is an elemental piece of what you're doing, and I just thought about it and what you were saying. It's completely outside of the music. If you think about the culture that it comes from, and even some stuff like historically you could kind of point to culturally, right? But where it's coming from, even the snaps kind of stuff, the competitiveness to it, right? Like we say that hip hop was like the way to express, to tell the story that nobody else was telling of what was actually going on. This is a way for people to make it out. It rests on each man or woman or whatever, right? Like, I think that's the part why for some it's important for the strive to be the illest, because in real life, trying to be the illest is really just like trying to get out. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not the illest, nobody wants to be defeated in battle. I think some of like the culture bleeds into, right, like the sport and playfulness of it, because everybody's trying to get out. Everybody got to be the illest, right? Like it's gladiator land. This is what people are talking about, right? Because there is nobody telling these stories about what's going on in these places or whatever. So I think that's kind of the spirit there, is like having the illest bars is, to me, something that can just being the illest. And if you had the illest bars, it got you, a record deal or something back, in the older era or whatever the case may be. But I don't know. It's something about,
because like that's what like brings like cannabis to fame, But it's like you doing that shit now, and it almost would maybe work against you in some ways, depending on what your goals are. If your goals is like trying to be a Drake in that world, but you rapping like that, like I don't even know what's gonna happen to you. Like if your goals,
and you could be the illest,
yeah,
and you could be the illest at having the illest songs and stuff like that. And I'm talking outside of music. I don't, having the illest songs may be the same equivalent to somebody personally.
Yeah.
But I think there's something special about having the illest bars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's dope.
In comparison to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? In this gladiator land where people are, who's got the illest way to tell the story, or scratch, or all of this stuff is who's the illest at it. You know what I mean?
I had a Dolly Parton documentary on right now. They show her lyrics here and there, and every time sometimes I see it, and it's like I don't even know her discography like that. But sometimes I'm like, man, like we be trying mad hard, like in rap, like she ain't doing. Granted, I only saw like a few minutes, and again, that woman's been gone like 50 years, so I don't know 50 years and like a few minutes on Netflix can't encapsulate all that. But it's like the stuff they showing, I'm like, man, we be doing like and I'm like,
because nobody's trying to be regular.
And I'm not saying she's right. She's doing. See, especially for the time she's doing, and she's probably doing dope stuff for her stuff too. But I'm just saying, in those other musics, it's not like my lyrics gonna destroy your lyrics and vice versa.
Right, because in the cultures that those musics comes from, there's not a real actual pressure on the outside to be ill or to have to shine. This is what I'm saying, that it's coming from a place of like maybe existential survival. That's why people strive to be the illest, because nobody's trying to be normal in the hood. Everybody's trying to find some way to be the illest and be something different than what appears to be nothing.
Stand
so
out.
if your bars is the way that you stand out and show that you something, right? Because the message, what's the narrative? Never gonna, everything's against you. Nothing, everything's looking at you. So how are you supposed to show otherwise? You know what I'm saying? Money, you got to show it some way, in the way that the world's going to understand. But in terms of people meeting in the park and having a good time, and this still kind of coming out expressively, I think that's where it comes from. Is like, yeah, I don't know. Why would Dolly? I don't know if country people come from a place, or do they feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, farm life and country life just mad hard, and people just got that fire.
I feel like they
just
have their own struggles, but I think just those musics, yeah, doesn't have the same pressure. Like outside looking in, it looked like, yeah, you might.
Farmers ain't competing like that on a daily basis. Know what I'm saying? Like, for just everyday life is not this.
Or
this
even just the musical competitive is not there, like in the same way. Like I said, it might not be like my lyric and a country song is trying to kill your lyric. It might be more like, maybe I might want to get more number ones than you, or just have more people at my show than you, or what. It might be that type. Just be more successful, but it ain't like, yo, let me show them how to really write a song, and these lyrics
farmland's not like
that
New York
doper.
City. Or Compton either. The environments are just different. That's not to say that farmers don't have difficulties and farmers don't actually beef with other farmers, maybe, and they have their own stuff, but it's not what we have seen and know what other people know the experience. Just an overall mentality way beyond music. Music is just a form of expression. Music is a subset of, that's a function of what's actually going on in life, not the other way around. Life's not a function of music, right? We saying this is people, look at what people were saying and trying to, so that's what I think it comes from. So I think in a weird, like, subconscious kind of way, that fire is to like OGs and stuff, whether they say it explicitly or not. Like, it kind of represents an important part of the overall of the culture, people would say, right? The overall narrative.
And even though we don't necessarily hold the newer people as maybe having those skill level, they all talk the same, almost all of them. Like Drake, if you ask Drake, I know you wouldn't agree with him, but Drake would tell you, like, or at least believe he one of the illest MCs out in the game, you know?
Right.
And he's still trying to bar it up too. Russ, for all the love songs he be making, is also trying to bar it up too, you know? So like, even the South is weird. Like, and when I say the South, the stereotype South. So like the Migos, I don't know if they really rapping about like the way maybe like Drake and Russ might be like, yeah, I want to be the best. I don't know, because obviously in the interviews they deny it, but I'm trying to think it's just lyrical content wise, and I don't even know if they out there saying that we the best even in their songs either, you know. But for the most part, like a lot of new rappers still might have some of that in there, that I'm still the man type bullshit, you know. So.
Right, and I think that's what really gets at people, is that people don't. Right, like, I feel like people interpret people not saying that they want to be the illest bars as them saying that they don't care. Then it's not necessarily true, but I think that I don't care touches on the deeper stuff that I was talking about. Subconsciously, it kind of rubs people, particularly because you talk about old heads. The new people, the young kids don't care about none of the stuff that we're saying, right? Like, this is the particular generation that don't like this kind of stuff, probably because they're closer to these other kind of things, right? Like, not for nothing, I'm not saying that the youth today or people growing up in certain areas don't have it as easier or harder than any, other periods. I'm just, we didn't have the internet, dog. I'm just saying, like, there just was certain opportunities that just weren't even available for anybody, period, wherever you were. So things were different. No, I mean they were easier or harder. They were just different. So that's information, right? Not only just opportunity. People just have more information today than we did when they were younger. Like we get this as we getting older. So they, like people feel a certain way if you fought in whatever war. Like you might look at the people that fight future wars like, y'all got the new laser gun though.
Back in my day,
we still had to practice how to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a piece of the fight that I think people don't like to see lost in it. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of the discipline that made something happen. You know what I'm saying? That or what, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I think that's what it kind of like, to me, just thinking about it, probably overthinking it, but I think that's kind of what it is. Because hearing some of this stuff, I'm like, I don't have a problem really with none of this at the end of the day. But I'm like, why would I though? Is it because they lazy, or is it? I think it just touches on a different kind of string. You know what I mean? Beyond music.
I remember in the old days being mad at it, and it's like, and I can't remember, like maybe it even pushed me away from hip hop too, but like also just a bunch of other shit going on in life. So I can't even remember like if that really pushed me away or just other things. But like I think I became more accepting of it like once I started doing it myself, because it just kind of made more sense from a creative perspective, like why you would maybe want to go other directions. You know what I mean? Just the idea of being trapped in the box and always doing the same thing or whatnot. You know? So.
Yeah, and to that point, things are changing, right? Like so even in the real world, maybe that mentality is not necessarily needed all the time or to the same degree, right? Like maybe you don't have to be you don't have to like go all out to show me that you ill is something or just ill in general, right? Because that's what it is expression. You trying to express you ill through your lyrics, everybody like you or whatever. Like it means something beyond that to the person, or you trying to tell your story or make people aware of something. But like, nah, you don't always gotta, shoot all of the fireworks for me to necessarily, you know what I'm saying? Like it does it have to be like that? Nah, I appreciate the ill fireworks show though, for sure. Always salute, but I don't know if I need to hold it. Oh, like, yeah, like you say, it don't always have to just be in that box. You know what I'm saying? Of like, you gotta be doing this ill shit for me to pay attention to you. Like, it don't always gotta be like that. Maybe you could just come up and tell me the story, right? And I take it for what it is, and it's still kind of ill, but you ain't gotta dance around. And
what they asked Royce, non-lyrical rapper.
Right. But I'm always gonna tilt my hat to the people that are ill with their swords, though, regardless if swords are needed or not.
And that's why you heard the Black Thought album first. That's why you probably heard the Black Thought versus, and that's not to take anything away from him. The only one I was like, I want to hear was like, I want to hear that Benny the Butcher, you know? Even though he's known for his bars too. But I don't know, man. I like Benny, so I was kind of pulled. Like versus Black Thought, I have like a heavy respect for him, and that has made me like him now. Because again, now that I do stuff, I see his power level, and I'm like, yo, this guy's a motherfucking monster. Like, what was going on all these years over here? So like, he make me pay attention. So it's like but I'm more respecting more than I'm like yearning for that. Like, yo, I want that new Black Thought.
Right.
You know,
and nobody's touching him because he's the illest swordsman either. So don't even think about it unless your sword is sharp. Again, regardless if swords are needed or not, but let's not forget, if you live in a world where there once was swords and there no longer is any, it's probably because some ill swordsman pushed it towards that, right? So
peace.
Always salute to the people that fought, right? That fought for it, even to maybe be at a place
the great.
You no longer even need to have this.
The great hip hop war of what, 96 in the East and the West, like so that there could be peace and tranquility amongst the lands and the tribes.
Right. And in a bigger sense, the war to have a voice and to have like a platform.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
now outside of technology, like everybody, you know what I'm saying, not taking that out of consideration, like hip hop's the most popular thing on the planet. Look at the presidential election, right? Like now,
Yeah, stuff you
regardless
be
or not,
sending me is crazy. Stuff you be
there's an
like,
this is now an acceptable platform. Like in a way, whatever the definition of the culture is,
yo,
whatever subcomponents of it, there is actually a voice now, right? This ain't Melly Mel's, you know what I'm saying? The first intro to what's going on in the hood no more. And this is now it's look where it is now. Ice Cube's working with right, like look at where everything is now. So in a way,
I
I guess the culture was moved to where it was intended in, but people sometimes use it in in ways people don't like. But yo, hip hop got
I
a voice.
voted. I voted this week, and there was a only a thought. Not that I would act on it, but there was a thought of like, yo, man, there's a write in here. I should write in Kanye West.
You didn't?
Nah, I
Oh, you
didn't. But
didn't?
I mean, like, I don't like cats who don't got a chance of winning. I felt that was kind of lazy to talk about you running for president but not make yourself eligible in all 50 states. That's kind of weird, dude. That's
I
kind of
mean,
weird.
support the cause though. Let them know. Let them know. Like, yo, next time around we with you. Know what I mean?
Yeah, show up for
We
real
with
though,
you.
dude. Don't do that lazy shit. For that, you or me could have said we running for president, but like on some laser beam blast where everybody knows. But I
He
don't
got
feel
stuff
like
going on. I ain't
registering.
mad at him.
I don't
There's a
feel
lot
like
of things going
registering. So
on.
why don't you just write my name in, everybody?
You know what I mean?
Come on,
I
man.
don't know.
That's wild.
You could have wrote whatever you wanted to
I
wrote.
could have
Like
wrote
this
aLr
is
Boosh.
bullshit.
I'm voting for him for president.
Yeah, you could have wrote this is bullshit and voted for that.
They going wild out there. There was only 5 machines for people to vote on. I was like, you want this whole county to vote on 5 machines?
Oh man.
That shit is weird, yo. That shit. I don't know. I'm still brand new to that whole thing anyway. That whole mess. So
I
I don't
seen
know.
a little thing. I'm gonna just do a mail joint. Know what I mean?
Mm. Like
Hmm.
I don't even
I don't
know.
know. I seen my little Facebook page was telling me what I could do
So
for my area, like
it's funny you
specifically for my
saying that.
area.
It's
So I'm
funny you
gonna just
saying
click.
that.
I'm gonna just click them. I'm gonna just click the link, and it's gonna take me to where I need to go and say select. I'm like, all right, this is official.
I
I mean,
felt like
salute.
every tech company was trying to like, hey man, try
They,
to get me to vote. I almost feel like that's
yeah.
some Illuminati shit right there. Like, why are you so concerned with getting me to vote? Facebook or Gmail, Google, or whatever,
Mm.
or Apple? Why do you care? Amazon? Like, why are you trying to get me to vote? Like, I buy shit from you. Why do you need me to vote?
Part of it is part of the whole disinformation fighting,
Well,
and that because the people felt like there was such an influence in it, there needs to be now like authoritative sources for you to do it. As well as like people always encouraging people to vote. That's not like an Illuminati thing. I mean, that's kind of
no, I
our
get that. You're right.
just in general. It's just our people should encourage people to vote if
I'm
this is the
used to
means
people to
that
doing
we.
that. I'm not using the services just literally like giving me a notification like, did you know you could vote? You know, like I'm like, wait, why are you
And
telling me this?
everybody got the things that they want to. So you know what I'm saying? They're gonna people gonna encourage you and try to get you to vote for X person or this person. You know what I'm saying? Because they want whatever. So it's not odd that entities and things are especially them given their kind of weird role in all of the election stuff because of this that you would see it there. But I mean, I don't care what nobody trying to influence me or what they think they trying to influence me for. Anyway, I'm clicking on them links because I feel like it, and I'm hoping that this is like some easy wizard to some like mail-in thing or whatever the hell. Know what I mean? I'm hoping they did a good job smoothing it out.
Mm.
Know what I mean? With the info. But yeah, if they're trying to, I don't know, whatever other angles, like people gonna do what the people gonna do anyway.
I
So,
think a lot of shit is weird, man. I can't even like describe you.
what'd you think of the Twitter thing?
What's the Twitter thing?
And the Joe Biden thing. They like censored that New York Post article, but they backtracked and you can share it.
I don't know what you're talking about, so you have to.
So the New York Post known publication, an old one.
Yeah, I heard of
Right?
it.
Right. I know. Salute New York. What I mean, salute. What I mean, but they published an expose on like Joe Biden's son, and it had pictures of him looking crazy, all sorts of emails or
We
whatever,
doing WikiLeaks part
implicating.
2 right before the election. We drop her
Yeah,
emails. Now
yeah,
we dropping this guy's.
yeah. So the thing was but this is coming from the New York Post, you know what I'm saying? For whatever they got it from or whatever the case was. But Facebook and Twitter wouldn't let people share it because they said that the sources, I guess, were that the New York Post was using wasn't sufficient enough, whatever. So it was a big hoopla, and yeah, that's what happened.
But it's allowed to share now.
Twitter, I don't know if Facebook reversed it or they're allowed.
Wait, so all of them teamed up?
YouTube, yeah, I think a lot of the social media platforms just like took it down and wouldn't let people share it, but Twitter did. My whole thing is just put the labels on it, like, yeah, just be like, look, this is a thing here. We don't know if this is true or not. It's not sourced by what we think and define as credible sources. Yo, look, read it. Think what you want to think about it. You know, we just giving you this heads up. Like, that's fine. If I read it and I'm like, all right, I'll take that into consideration. But to just be like, nah, you can't look at it. You can't show it to nobody. I think that's a little bit extreme. Regardless of disinformation and stuff, it implies that I'm not intelligent enough to be making an informed decision. If you think that I'm gonna believe every article that I see, then I shouldn't be voting in the first place. I'm just some idiot that you can just be able to tell me anything. I'm not an informed citizen then. It's always gonna be disinformation.
Yeah, I don't know,
Try
man.
to get rid of it, but
that's kind of like
the Post reported on it after too, like right after they were like, "Look, oh, that was the story that they blocked it." But my fault.
Wait, so the story wasn't true? Whatever.
No, and then after they blocked it, the Post made that like the big story. Like, yo, what the heck? Like they were kind of doubling down.
I was still caught
like,
on them. Yeah, I was still caught up on them being blocked and stuff. Yeah.
They doubled down and did like a front page, like, yo, they blocking us. This is some, BS basically. Some other stuff was leaked too, but that wasn't so much in the mainstream, and it was also pulled off of wherever it was, and they I don't know, there's talks of like some whistleblower and some bad things with SEAL Team 6 and all of and like a bunch of other like Tom Clancy type stuff.
Well, what did they leak?
The gist of it is that I'm not gonna. You'd have to. I don't. You can't even watch it because these Tom Clancy stories. Sometimes I'd have to watch them twice just to kind of keep up with it. Even the movie sometimes, just all the players and stuff. But the short gist of it was that the big part of it was that they killed SEAL Team 6 and that.
Like recently or like?
Nah, like they died. SEAL Team 6 died. The SEAL Team 6 that hit Osama.
Yeah,
they all died in the helicopter crash.
They did?
Which is like shortly after.
I didn't know that.
Know that?
No, I didn't.
The entire team that did the hit on Osama bin Laden, they all died in the helicopter crash. Like not long after that on some other thing. Which is, wow, what a
coincidence.
Coincidence. The most elite people. And I was telling somebody, like, yo, they don't get flown around by regular helicopter pilots either. The dudes that flew me around, they not flying them around.
Yeah.
They got the best of the best of the best for everything. You know what I'm saying? Their chefs could probably kill a room of people like Steven Seagal or something.
Well, Steven Seagal was a chef, if you remember.
Yeah, look, yeah. See,
he was a chef, but who also had the training.
They not playing. Right? That was Navy too, right? Yeah. Fire SEAL. So look, they not playing. They're not playing at all on any dimension. So, nonetheless, helicopters do crash. And people do die in helicopter crashes. Accidents do happen, but the timing is definitely bugged out. So the story is that was not an actual crash, and that they like something along the lines of that somebody contacted the administration and told them where Osama was, and they were like he was in Iran or something like that. And I don't know, some other people basically pressured them to do that raid in there, I guess maybe knowing that wasn't the real one. And so the SEAL team knew after the stories that the SEALs knew that wasn't him, because they're the ones that went in there. So they knew that they hit a decoy. And whoever knew really where he was in Iran, they ended up being like, if y'all don't, they basically use that as blackmail. Like, oh, y'all lying to y'all people, or y'all acting like y'all killed the real dude. They said they didn't even drop him in the sea. Like all of this other crazy stuff. They cleaned up the SEAL team, right? Like this is the narrative. They cleaned up the SEAL team. So there's nobody to know that it was a decoy. But whoever knew or whatever knew where Osama was, or like told them that he wasn't there, or whatever the case was, they were just like, nah, if y'all don't give us some bread, we gonna expose that all of that shit that y'all saying y'all did is fake, and he's not gonna get reelected, because that was a big thing. He killed Osama bin Laden. So the Iran deal and all of the money that was done with that was the payment for them basically being quiet. This is the gist of it, of like that. There's like other stuff too, but that was like the big thing about it.
So is that why Trump gets out of the deal and stuff? Or is this a different deal?
There's some money. I remember there's some like $150 billion that had to do with this, with the Iran deal or something like that. And that's what it involves. I'm like being a terrible storyteller because I don't know, like, here to research all the facts and nothing. But there was some, I remember that in the news some years ago. If you look it up, all of this stuff will come up. I just don't have it all in recent memory or nothing like that, or be really on that shit like this. But there was some money or something. You could look into it, but it involved that stuff. And I think the Iran deal that was made. Yeah. So that's the whatever story. Is that stuff true? I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it's just interesting.
So this is all what just leaked out too?
So the other thing is that it had that, yeah, that's separate. This is like a separate whistleblower allegedly from the CIA that's coming out with this information. That's where that stuff that I just told you is supposed to be coming from. The other stuff came from a dude. So the way they find the information for Joe Biden is interesting. So check the dude is just a computer repair shop dude. And the story is, and again, but anyone listening, just fact check it, because I'm not giving you some hyper research version of this. Somebody brought in a laptop to a computer repair shop and left it there and never came back. And the computer repair shop dude repaired it, contact. They didn't even leave like the right information or any information. So he ends up fixing the computer and finds this stuff on it. Here's the interesting thing about this leak, because and them blocking it in the post kind of stuff. So he kept a copy for himself because he happened to be some kind of like conspiracy theorist dude. So just coincidentally, of course, this laptop ends in his shop, which is just all of it's just interesting. Like, not that it's just maybe it's deliberate, not to say that it's fake, and it's just these are just interesting things. But he also gave a copy to the FBI, which I didn't know when the leak first happened. So I'm like, wait, if that's true, then the government, assuming that that's true, then that means that the FBI was aware of it. Why wouldn't they just release a statement like, yep, we're aware of this intelligence, we've looked into it, and there's nothing here, right? Because it's not just that. What they released is pictures of him like looking like he's smoking crack, but it's also emails and stuff of him basically kind of doing what Trump said he was doing over there in the Ukraine. Like he was.
Wait, this is his son?
Yeah, okay. It's about his son that got released.
Yeah.
And it's basically saying that he was supposed emails, alleged emails and stuff. You don't know if it's real or what, but saying with him in communication with like people like, yo, I'll be a back channel to important people that I know, and you gotta give me some bread. And meanwhile, they got pictures of him like banging a girl, I guess, and he got like a pipe in his mouth. Are those photos real? I do not know. But at the very least, all of this should be looked into. Because if they are real, then there's this dude who's potentially compromised out there. If he's an addict and stuff like that, that make him easy to bribe. They got these, where these pictures come from? People could be holding these pictures over you and making you do stuff, or they're going to release it and jeopardize. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't have people working at these levels potentially compromised. So whether or not they real or not, sure, give them the benefit of the doubt. We should probably look into like, yo, we looked into it. And as the people, shouldn't we know? Shouldn't they tell us like, all right, we checked into this because of these real national security concerns or whatever. And they fake, whether you believe the statement or not, whatever. But they told you. Or yes, we're arresting him. Or yes, we think this is fishy. Or like, I don't get it. How like this stuff plays out just never make no sense. Just being an average consumer, like, really, that was how the movie ended? Just, I didn't look, you didn't investigate it, it's just blocked, and
that's it, man. That's it.
So I don't know. Obviously, it's all sorts of shenanigans, but it is interesting that if there is the potential that there's the slight possibility that some of this stuff is true, then it gives credence to the phone call that dude made with the Ukrainian dude. And my thoughts is, why would he ask that in the first place, hot over the phone like that? We know he brazen and he don't care. Maybe that has another purpose. But why would you ask that question in the first place? Was he fishing or did he know? I assume these are informed people up there. So when he's asking him, yo, we ain't going to give you no aid and we'll give you the aid, but we want you to look into this. Did he have something already in mind that he knew they needed to look into? Or was he just like, I don't like that dude. I'm just trying to see if he is doing fishy. You get what I'm saying? Like, why would you just take a shot in the dark? So what did he know then? If he has an inkling to even do something to ask this dude, whether he's like prick or not, just why even ask this dude this in any, y'all could have had dinner together. Why would you ask this dude this? What do you know at that time that was going on? So this all I don't care who's lying, who's smoking crack or not. This just means y'all all shady. This is all in the open. All of this is fugazi to me. Everybody need to be investigated, right? It's too much. Disinformation. Everybody investigate. Everybody come in the room and sit down and get naked. You know what I mean? Everybody getting checked. You know what I mean? And pull everybody file up too. I'm saying nobody's leaving till we get to the bottom of this. Some type of thing like that, because this is all just ridiculous. Like, what are people supposed to think? At the least they tell me where I could vote. Truthfully, I guess. You know what I mean? Who should I vote for is another mystery. You know what I mean?
Vote for the honest one.
Yeah, I just go with what make the most sense. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of stuff that looks suspect, but I just think that that's also interesting that like, oh, okay, like if he was over there, then he was kind of right. And if he's kind of right on that, then what else is he right on? And why y'all y'all go to, and I get the offense, right? You can't have a president doing that. But y'all like, we need to get him out of here now. Like, if some of this stuff is true, then, and y'all all know this, right? Because y'all all on the same team. It's not like y'all really against each other up there. Don't y'all all get the intelligence? Don't at least some of y'all on both sides get access to this? So it's either fake or it's not. What is all of this stuff that's happening? But the move is to go after him and get him impeached. Like, I don't know, but y'all trying to stop something? Like, this just creates questions for me that just haven't been answered. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I want to know in this soap opera, what are the motives, and just tell me what the fuck happened. You know what I mean? Because now it changes the dynamic of possibly like, oh, well, y'all doing that because he really was on some quid pro quo or, doing stuff that he, is breaking some type of law or something? Or is it because, he over here, he getting too close to something? He already not listening to nobody on Orthodox. It don't seem like we could control this dude. And now he over here on the phone, wild as fuck, hot boy, asking the dude, because that's almost broadcasting it. Like, you right. Like, why would he get in this request? Like, is he stupid? Why he get on the phone and make it seem like he kind of bribing the dude? Or was that the point? Yeah, you gonna hear the call. I don't know who recorded it and gave it, but why even say that on the phone?
So hold on. So who's bribing who? Because a lot of this, I'm not familiar. So is it Biden bribing the dude? Right?
No. So there's two issues. When Trump called the Ukrainian dude, the Ukrainian prime minister, the quid pro quo issue.
Okay.
The reason they were going after him to impeach him was kind of because it was almost like he was bribing him. Like, we're not going to give you military aid unless you investigate the Bidens. That was the whole hoopla. Okay. He wanted him to look into Hunter Biden, who was in the Ukraine doing stuff. And he was like, they doing corrupt stuff. I need you to investigate them. We're not giving you aid to do. So people are like, you can't do this. You can't dangle military aid over people's head and ask them to do stuff for you.
Yeah.
Which does sound reasonable. So they try to impeach him because it's just like, you're doing this. But what I'm saying is, if there's any credence to him even asking that question, there had to be a reason, and other people must have known that reason. What people's opinions are on that intelligence, I don't know. Maybe people had different opinions on it. But he asked them to look into something brazenly. So was that a broadcast? Like, yes, I'm going to find out what's going on over there. Let you know. Yup. We're not giving you aid until you do. Like, this is on the phone. Why would you say that? Everybody hear you say that. What's the important part? That you're not giving the aid? Or, yeah, I want you to investigate this dude. Then you try to get this dude out of here. He on the phone saying he looking for if there's credence to this stuff, right? Like, this gives motive to get him out of here because he's looking into stuff. We thinking this is all fake Giuliani conspiracy stuff. And if that's the case, it's just like, you just bugging on the phone, homie. What you doing? But if there actually is something, then it's just like, oh, wait, so what's going on here? If there was something going on, why was the response like that? Why wasn't there two separate issues? Mr. President, you can't talk on the phone like that. But very well, what the fuck is going on over here with this dude too at the same time, right? Like, we could walk and chew gum at the same time. So I don't know. They're all shady. All of this is shady. You read Tom Clancy shit in the news, and I gotta go vote, and all I want is lower taxes and like freedoms, and just don't rip me off on gas and tell me I can't. I gotta wear a certain type. I don't even know what's going on espionage shit. I'm not at that level. I'm an average citizen. But I just want these people to mow my grass. And I don't know if they building transformers on it. My grass ain't been cut since I hired these folks.
Yeah, man.
got a jungle on my lawn, right? Like, I don't know, man. Yeah. All of it is shenanigans.
It is, man. It is. It's not really it's not some shit I want to be around.
There you have it, the aLr Boosh conspiracy expose we did real quick.
You did all of it. I'm just like, what is this? I'm like, what is that?
A lot of, because people been telling me, because I didn't know either. I didn't know none of this stuff. People were texting me, and I'm just like, this is some kind of crazy stuff going on.
I probably still barely understand it. Like, I'm like still trying to follow it in my head, like from what you were saying. But
yeah, but Joe Biden's son was in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
And he was doing business things, but he was allegedly, taking bribes to basically give people access to Joe Biden. It's because he's the vice president's son. So that's what they were saying is like, he's over here just plugging people, you know what I'm saying, and getting money for this shit. And that's illegal too. So that's what they were saying. So if that's the the allegation, and these pictures are true that like, yo, you are a drug addict possibly, because that's always been the claim. But if it's like, and if there's pictures of you doing stuff that exist that are leaked, yo, who has these pictures? So that means you could be getting bribed over there and you're the vice president's son. Even if you're not doing this stuff yourself, this could be of some type of concern, right? Like the vice president's son is dealing with people in the Ukraine close to Russia. He's an addict, possibly. People got pictures of him doing stuff that obviously nobody would want to see. It's an expose. They came out already, right? These are things that you hold over people's heads. Yo, you're going to do this. You're going to plug me in with so-and-so. I'm going to release this shit or whatever the fuck, right? Like, this is why you can't take bribes, and you can't even be in the CIA and be in certain positions in the government if you have bad finances. It's not because they don't like broke people. It's because you're a liability. If you got a gambling debt, now they could try to use this against you. Like, yo, give us the info. We know you got gambling debt. We'll take care of that for you. You know what I mean? So you got to have people clearly can't be using drugs and open to bribes and shit like this. So it's interesting. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying there's some unanswered questions. Whether or not the information is real or not, it needs to be verified and at least
that's always the case, though. There's always unanswered questions with all these people.
Fuck all that, though. Yeah, but that T.I. album, though, know what I mean? Salute the Libra, you know what I mean?
Did you hear that, though? That was the illest transition. You were like, but that T.I. album.
Yeah, nah. Fuck all that Tom Clancy shit. That's the attitude, right? Yeah. Yo, whatever. You know what I mean? I seen Mission Impossible. It'll work out.
Nah, Mission Impossible
fighting a good fight.
But you see, that's Mission Impossible is the same thing, though. Every movie, he somehow wound up the bad guy. You know, even though he not.
Yo, but whatever. It's somebody up there that's gonna buff it all out. All right.
He not American. He not American. Tom Cruise is only American in the first 5 minutes of each movie, and in the last 5 minutes of the movie. After that, he's like he don't exist. He an enemy. We know we need to kill him. We abolish his thing from the government. We don't even know he exists. And then at the end of the movie, he like, good job, Patriot. You know, like,
you know, why are you always looking for the bad guy so hard? How am I like to work so hard for? You know what I mean?
Basically.
You just want it to look like this. They don't want you to really kill him. Seriously, you know? Come on, man. What's wrong with you? You're messing up the game.
Man, I went back and saw that movie with, I don't know. This was like, I don't know if it was this year or last year, but I went back and seen the white guy who's dead, the actor, kind of the bigger actor.
Wow, the white guy that's dead, the actor. What the hell?
I'm thinking of like Tom Cruise bad guys in Mission Impossible. They're probably all white guys, right? But I mean, I don't know. But he was kind of fatter at certain points in his career.
Oh, Philip Seymour.
Yeah. Yes, because I wanted to see the scenes where he does the like, do you have a girlfriend? You know, do you have, like all those like,
yeah.
I'm gonna kill you scenes, even though he's the hostage.
He's a good actor too.
Yeah. But even that movie ends up being like, he's in league with like the CIA and like all his bosses are working for him, even though Tom Cruise is like trying to like get him, like almost capturing him was a mistake, you know. Like the whole thing.
That's because y'all not giving me the memos. Y'all got me out here with this BS folder, this out-of-date dossier. Y'all got the real info. Got me chasing to tell me he's on our team. Come on, what kind of?
I think he was working for like the dude from The Matrix. Or is it Freeman, right? Lawrence. Yeah. He's working with him somehow. He was in league with him somehow. Even though that's Tom Cruise's boss. You know,
And you know what? I know it's movies, and we like, oh yeah, you know, it's we kind of think of it as like fantasy. You know what I'm saying? And like, well, the presumption is that reality is not really like this. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're watching a movie that's meant to be real, but you know, it's Mission Impossible. But all of I imagine, like, I'm not saying that that's how it is, but it's probably not far off from like if you just think about it, right? Like certain people got access to certain stuff. It's a lot of high stakes stuff going around. People got their own agendas, people being used, people, you know what I mean? And that's kind of anywhere else too. That could be at your McDonald's. People could be playing games in the back, you know what I mean? Fryer scheming in on the cashier position, I mean.
There's a McDonald's documentary on HBO about the Monopoly game being rigged.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
McMillions, right? That's what it's called.
This is all of this is just Duke to me. Oh yeah, you said you were gonna formally acknowledge.
I didn't say that. You said
real. Yes, you did. You said on the podcast. You said on the podcast. So why you don't want to say
Duke Israel? I know him. I grew up with him.
My mind is blown. He just came out and said it. It's been years. The audience enough. Yeah, he just smiled.
I got his number on my phone. I made a beat with him.
No, I got it. Look, I got it. I got it. Right? You talking about that dude? I hear you. You know what I mean, I know. I feel you. You know what I mean? We on the same page, all right? He said, he real. After the collaborations you seen this year in hip-hop, you're like, yeah, nah, Duke real. Duke real. Word.
Yeah, man. Duke real.
Yeah, I've never seen so much hip-hop collaborations in politics ever. In battle rap. Wow. Word.
Yeah, man.
Kind of concerns me, but you know.
Well, he gonna win, right? Because he got battle rappers helping him. Biden's gonna win, right?
Yeah, I'll talk about that Osama, whatever stuff. But I won't get too much into this. My safety could be jeopardized if I get too much into like hip hop's involvement in politics. Start talking about they'll pull this shit down. They'll censor this on you. When you post it, they'll pull it down. Like, no. Can't talk too much about Duke.
Yeah, on what you were talking about earlier, because you said pulling and posting. Yeah, almost. I noticed like little flags on YouTube. I don't be on Facebook enough, but I noticed some flags on YouTube, and it's like if someone even dare talk about like COVID, they put like a COVID thing under the video, you know? Like I don't know, like a COVID link that'll take you to the right stuff, you know, to believe, you know. I don't know, like I feel like those things are like they're no longer even though they still are, they're no longer the rebel stations, right, that they were. Now they like out here trying to police the game, and I don't know, just be like.
People are asking for that though. That's the thing. Like, they not just. I don't think this is because look at the culture now.
Yeah.
Oh, this needs to be pulled down, and then he backtracked and they released it. Why? Because people were complaining about it. The initial reaction was whatever. It fell within it violated their policy, right? Like they didn't just pull it down. They said it violated their policy, and whether or not the interpretation fit or not, or you agree. They had an official reason for it, only to the next day turn around and be like, all right, you can share it now, at least on Twitter. So what does that say? What the next morning, Jack Dorsey woke up and was like, you know what? I think I was wrong on that. And he just emailed them. No, people were bugging the hell out. Like, yo, y'all said what the blah, 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 blah. That's why he thought about it. If nobody would have said that, was like, oh yeah, whatever, you can't share it. Nobody cares. It was still nothing would have happened. It wouldn't have been, we wouldn't be talking about it. But people flip, and so they change it. So people are the ones who are kind of asking for censorship too. It's not people got to stop looking at politicians and the companies like these things are institutions that we support, that the government is paid for by us. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we gotta have some sort of accountability in what we want. And if we ask for something and you get it, well, then you get it. Then you get it. Whatever effects you didn't think about when you was asking for it, I don't know. That watch Wishmaster then. Learn about genies and why it's important to be very careful what you ask for.
So that's a movie? Hold on, Wishmaster.
Yeah, it's an old horror movie about, you guessed it, a genie, you ask for wishes and they don't turn out the way you quite want them, but you get what you asked for. But people asking for the central. Look, what is it in the gaming community? What you said is called? They don't even say losers. Low tier losers are what
the
they
lower
call
brackets. The lower
it.
bracket.
The lower bracket, the losers, right? But you can't even say losers no more. Which imply like, well, then are there winners? If there's no losers, do people even win? That those definitions are like kind of tied to each other. It's just the opposite of winning. Are there no winners anymore?
It's the higher bracket.
So who asked for that though? Did Capcom just say,
look, weed is legal now, so like you can be in the highest bracket when you win the tournament. You can be the highest one.
I like that.
I don't know, man. No one asked for that. But that term, the first time I saw that was the dude from Mortal Kombat, the guy who made Mortal Kombat. And I was like, why are you doing this? Why are you putting these ideas out there?
Well, maybe he just got his own agenda that he could use his platform to do it. But what I'm saying is people ultimately determine what they want or not. If people stop buying Mortal Kombat and was like, that's dumb, we don't like you no more because you think what are you talking about? I bet you they would have reversed it, or at the least I bet you they consider it, right?
See, but he funded by, like you said, maybe it's his own agenda, because that's him talking to the FGC. But who funds Mortal Kombat? It's not the FGC. It's never the highest tournament game, you know? But you know who funds Mortal Kombat? The people, you know? The normal people.
They are the FGC. It's not that's what I'm saying. They are the FGC.
No, I'm saying those normal, no, like.
You mean just all the consumers?
Because the normal, like the reason why Mortal Kombat's usually the number one selling game often than not is because it sells to those people who don't compete in tournaments, you know? But now,
so they don't care about none of this terminology. Then,
but if he's fueled by something outside, he can easily like influence that and not really be hurt, you know, because it's such a microscopic.
It's up to the FGC community to either support that agenda or not support it.
And he still would be just as strong because he has like a huge outside community, you know. So,
but that means that he has supporters.
Yes, but what I'm saying is those supporters that don't care, like, probably outnumber the FGC by a multiplier of who knows how much, you know, 3, 4, 5 times, whatever it is. So
we're not considering them. I'm just considering people who actually
care. But I was just saying the actual FGC could not support him, and he probably wouldn't even feel it. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
on a right, but all right. So then what is the term for? It's not for people it's not for the regular consumer. We just said that they don't care. So where's his agenda going? If these people are unaware of these,
put it in his vision, you know, so he can maybe.
So where is he trying to trickle it in from then?
From Twitter? I don't know.
Why are you being no? Where are they using the term lower bracket?
I don't know if people are actually using it, but he put that out there. You know, I don't know because it's a COVID world. Now? No, it's not. No, because those aren't things in the games. Those are like real life tournament terms. You know, there's no tournaments in the game.
So he's
but COVID happened, so I haven't seen if they were actually adopted or not. You know.
All right. Adopted or not?
Yeah,
he is suggesting it where in
for the tournaments, yes.
Which is right, like in the realm of the fighting game community.
Yeah.
Right. So this term affects them. Now, yes, all of the other people. This is not even if his agenda is to get the masses to adopt this. He's trying to do it through your culture, right? Like I'm gonna assume you and the FGC.
Yeah.
There's a draw. There's money here. The players that represent the FGC, the battle rappers or who make, without them, there is no people. There is no tournaments without the fighters people. If those people are like, no, we're not, we're saying loser. And, you know, yeah, you might get other fighters, but if people are just really against it, you're not going to go get the random people from the tournament. They don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I don't know what the agenda is, if there is one. But it's for the fighting game community to be like, nah, like I'm still saying loser. You know what I'm saying? And there may be mad fighters or whatever, like, yo, nah, we don't like that term. I know they didn't change it.
I don't keep up with it enough, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they all change for it because I do feel like I don't know if desperation is the right term, but I do feel like those guys really are kind of desperate for the growth at whatever cost. You know, like
So
the
then you accept what you get. Then you get what you ask for. You get
yeah.
what you accept, and that's it. That's as an individual group. Look, I can make decisions, and it might not change nothing because everybody else is deciding otherwise. I'm that's not no reason for me to still go along with it because it's still happening. That's also retarded logic. That is, oh, everyone's going along with something I don't agree with. So
Yeah.
even though my decision might not change it, I'm still not gonna support it if I don't
I
agree with it.
stay.
Oh well,
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
everybody's
I
saying
don't
it.
partake in it currently. Like, I don't know if I'll ever come back. Like, that time might be done in my life.
But
Fighting games remind me of wrestling. It's the exact same thing. It was a certain level of extremity that it may never be able to be again because just times and culture have changed, you know, and things won't be accepted anymore, you know.
people have influence though. People get what they allow to happen.
Yeah.
As a society, as individuals, as groups of people, that's just there has to be some onus on the people. So like, yeah, corporations are gonna do what they do, the governments are gonna do what they do. History's shown us it's up to right, like the common man or whoever to like line it up and balance it out when they get out of hand, right? Like it's
Mm,
on the people to kind of figure it out. Whatever that ends up looking like.
mm.
People outside protesting now, angry and voicing their stuff, right? So, yo, you don't support certain stuff. Don't support. Don't be just lame. Oh, it's because they're doing. Not saying that you do it, but I feel like that's the general thing. Is this happening? What are we gonna do? They unblock that shit, right?
Mm.
Should begin. They defunding police, right? They doing what regardless of it's people were steered to do certain things when they came out and said it, they did it. So I don't know. They told King George, fuck off. I mean, there's a lot of examples of kings getting told, yeah, nah, you ain't rolling with that shit no more. Come get us.
Mm. That
So
that that reminded me of the Hamilton play, just right off the bat.
right. It's just that the market is never unified. People are never unified. Any product could be made dead in a day. If theoretically, if people just stop buying it. So if there was something people
We need
actually hated,
mainstream consumer unions.
but everybody got different choices. So I'm also not expecting everybody to think about stuff, but the same. But you get what you ask for.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't look to blame others for stuff. I look internally first as to what
Mm.
my requirements are for the situation. And then I'll look at external factors as to what may be doing this or that. But I don't blame outside first. What did I do wrong in the situation? How could I have avoided this? What didn't I see? What not? Oh, they tricked me. I don't know. How'd you
Mm.
get tricked?
Guilty Gear looked
That's the
really
question.
pretty, and then I bought it, and it was simple.
Well, now that you asked that question and you came up with an answer, then the next time that happens to you, think twice. That's all, right? That's it. That's it. But if you never ask the question and it's they tricked me, how you know you ain't gonna get tricked again?
Mm.
You're not asking any more things in how they tricked you or whatever. If you even know you got tricked.
Mm.
That's on me. That's on me. If I get tricked, it's because, man, you got one over on me. I wasn't slick
Fool
enough to
me
catch the
once,
jig.
bought Street Fighter 5. Fool me twice, I bought
Yeah.
season 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Big mistake. And I don't support Street Fighter 5. You know what I mean? I don't support it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
support it
never
at
bought
all.
any DLC. I was like
Nah. But yeah, I don't like the idea of things being censored. Even if they're crazy stuff, I still want to. I understand, like, certainly you don't want people inciting violence and certain type of stuff like that. Like, yeah, it is. There's definitely edge cases I'm okay with that, could make sense. But generally speaking, like, I just want to be able to see it and make my own decision on it. I want to be able to figure out if people are lying to me. Yeah, there shouldn't be lies out there. We should try to, I guess, like, not have lies, but I don't know. I don't know who's the determiner of that in some cases and stuff. Like, at the end of the day, even if I'm told truth, I'm gonna end up deciding for myself anyway. People don't believe things now that most people are like, that's just a fact. I mean, what do you mean that
What
that's
is a
not real?
fact?
So
What is a fact?
something that's real, I guess. Gravity seems to be a fact. I mean,
Fake news.
gravity's fake news. Go up on the roof. You could see that's easily if you do your due diligence.
Go research that shit. Go to the Golden Gate.
Dog.
Go to the Golden Gate.
Go research.
Go to the Golden Gate.
If gravity ain't real, and you know what I mean.
You know what's funny? What's funny? You mentioned gravity. That's one of the. I don't know why I imagine it, but I always imagine. Like, I guess I don't know if that could be like my mutant superpower. Like, I kind of want control of gravity. I like the idea of, like, I don't know, like, you fight an enemy and you can just, maybe it also comes from like Dungeons and Dragons, like green magic but like, I don't know, just like if you're fighting somebody, but like you can kind of like have gravity just pull them to the point that they're kind of just have to do that, like almost multiply their weight by like 10-fold, 20-fold, and now they're just stuck to the floor. I find that, like, I don't know, I just feel like that's intense. But at the same time, you can reverse it. That's not all you
could do with gravity. Couldn't you open up black holes if you could?
You can do all kinds of crazy shit. But I just that picture, for some reason, like the intensity of weight pulling down on people, just, I don't know. Like, it's just something that resonates
the black hole for big enemies.
Yeah. But
you like smushing people and keeping them stuck.
Yeah, that shit. I don't know why. That shit seems funny to me.
Gravity.
Gravity on big enemies never worked in the RPGs. They were always immune.
I am Gravimus.
You do
Feel
gravity.
The pressure.
You have your gravity like maxed out. It takes like what 1/4 of the damage, and then you do it, and it's like immune. That's it.
Can't move. Goku in the hyperbolic chamber, like.
But at the same time, you could probably fly and do all kinds of crazy shit, So.
Yeah. Nah, you'd be able to manipulate all kind of stuff, move shit off axis, fuck with the universe, probably. All kind of bad things or good things, I guess. But
what are the good things we could do with gravity?
Float people. You could probably save people.
You said float people? Like, this is like a thing we do to people.
You could like anti-gravity things. You know what I mean? If you could manipulate gravity, you could do it the opposite. You could like make gravity go the other direction, and maybe like, a car is easy to lift up now because you don't got super strength, right? So you could just
reverse gravity.
Save an old lady or something. You could do some cool things. Float yourself up, get a cat from a tree from a kid. You can do good stuff.
At the end of the day,
it's not all
at the
bad
end of the day,
things.
we're limited to Superman.
Gravity.
We're saving cats from trees.
Why are you thinking like a villain though? You like, what good things? So you only had bad ideas of gravity? Yes, I can move the sun into the earth.
There you go.
Wow, so you're a super villain then. See? Gotta think positive. You could do good things with gravity powers.
You can. You know what I mean?
Word.
That's a concept album right there. What if I was a superhero with gravity? Just do a whole story on that.
World, pulls you down.
That's my amusement park, Gravity World. This is a bunch of rides based on the perceived use of gravity.
Right. So some things seem to hold true, though, is all I'm saying, right? Like I've yet to meet someone that can fly just natively or anti-gravity, whatever. Maybe in the future, but for now, it seems like a fact of life on Earth. is that we are bound by gravity wherever you go.
Didn't that plane they leaked out?
Happens.
The UFO, the government leaked out. I never watched it. I've only heard them describe it. Didn't it? Wasn't it like this? But it could go like this instantly or some crazy shit.
Yeah, but they UFOs though. I mean, they got that sound like technology. They in a ship. It wasn't like an alien doing it by himself.
But it's UFO though. I don't mean it's a ship, right? It might be something else.
I'm not saying that you can't manipulate gravity. I'm just saying it exists and we can't. They got cool ships that could do it, but you as a man go to the roof and see if you can maneuver like that alien ship and see what happens. And tell me gravity ain't real, or look, the aliens did it. Whatever, you know what I mean? I'm just saying some things are what they are, and people can still choose to not believe it. I suppose there could be a person that thinks gravity's not real. They really believe they could fly and they could test it and see if that's real or not. But you know, I don't know. I don't know about the flying part or just anti-gravity in it away. Like I don't know about that. Not without some assistance. You know what I'm saying? We might need something. We could obviously defy gravity, so that's not a question. But nah,
it's a random change. But are you gonna get the new iPhone 12?
No.
Well, I don't mean personally. I meant like maybe through other matters, like your work or something. Like you said, you always upgrade. So
I don't know. I'd have to see if they post like whatever things they do when you do it, but with the COVID world and stuff, like I probably gotta mail this one back or something. Nah, that sound.
So in real life, you just would like go to a desk and that's it.
Bring my old one back and just get my new joint. You know what I mean? But now I probably gotta go to the post. You know what I'm saying? They gotta send me a box or a label I gotta print. I barely use this thing. I barely know how to use it. Nah, it's a text message box. This is $1,000
text message box.
$1,000 messenger application. An email checker. That's what this is with. Dope camera that I'd never use, but yeah, that's it. Messenger. It's just a messenger. Email. That's it.
That's what's up.
It. I ain't gonna do it. I'll look into it though. I didn't even know that they released it, but nah. If I was there, then I probably would just, like you said, just go.
Yeah, like a month ago, they had they press conference like called Time Flies, and that was mainly because of the new watch. And then they had a conference this week. I don't remember what it was called, but it was new phone. So,
was it 5G now? Right, that's the thing with them. They all 5G.
Yo. Now, I don't have the best understanding of all this shit. What am I gonna do with this 5G in a world where like I ain't been keeping up, but like if I'm on Verizon right now, if I were to call them, yo, I got a 5G phone, is my speeds magically gonna go, like that? or because I feel like they not. I feel like they. I
kind of feel like I would get the same thing that I have now.
Exactly. Like, wow. This is America.
Slightly different things that I don't use.
This is to quote Gambino. This is my mom, right? My mom loved TV. 79. She loved TV. So she switched from Spectrum to AT&T for a better TV package recently. Like, actually just got it yesterday, right? So I'm there today for the first time checking it out. There's two things.
That was a mistake, wasn't it? It was a mistake.
It's a mistake for me, not for her, because she really needs
I know,
TV.
No. I mean, for us.
Yo, the internet, because AT&T is historically bad. I can't. Maybe even all of Texas, South Texas. You're not too far from me, so maybe where you live too, AT&T is bad. But I notice in places. Good.
They don't have nothing.
You're so lucky. But in places where they have Google Fiber, magically AT&T has Google Fiber. I noticed that. They have AT&T Fiber.
AT&T is here, but it's trash.
Yeah. Yo, so I know first off, the package is on paper is 25 and 5. I did the speed test which I go to a special site because that they never want to use, because I wonder why they don't want to use the site I go to. The truth-telling site. They want to use
they use a different formula.
They want to use this magical site where miracles. Yeah, that's it. Miracles
that's
always
happen. Formula. You need to use our site with the real formula. It's more accurate. It should always say your shit lightning fast. Like this shit be disconnected. Your test say that it's going lightning fast.
I did that speed. it had like 16 download, and I don't remember the upload, but the package they're buying is 5, so it must have been lower than 5. But I was like, and for my mom, that's fine. She ain't doing that. The most craziest thing she uses like the Roku, so or Netflix or Hulu or something. But I was like, man, that's disgusting. 2020, dog. And that's the internet you selling us? Like, this is how we're making progress as a nation, is by selling us. I was like, yo, that's like some like 2010, if not earlier, speed. You know what? Like, I mean,
Some T-Mobile guy came to my house the other day, and he was like, I'm from T-Mobile, whatever. And I was like, I already have T-Mobile, so we probably don't need to talk anymore. And he was just like, because I did. I already have.
I remember.
Like, I'm already gang. I dapped him up. I'm already gang, homie. You know what I mean? I feel you. I vouch for you. You know what I'm saying?
But they got that new home program.
But he was like, nah, but I got that good internet. And I was like, do you though? I was just like, before you continue on with your spiel that I could tell you're about to just ramble off and tell me about the wonders of T-Mobile internet. It's like, hold on. Do you have gigabit internet? And he was like, no. Now he was like, I felt he didn't ask me, but he was like, do you? And I was like, yes. And if you don't have that, then good day, sir. He was like, very well, salute. You know what I mean?
The funniest thing to bring up to any of those people is to ask them the upload speed, and they just kind of crumble immediately because they either don't know it. Or
I wasn't even going to do none of that. Is it this high? Huh? You should go this high? Nah.
Because I ended up talking to a bunch of people here, and Spectrum weird. They got some weird gigabit thing that isn't actually fiber.
Yeah, that's what I have. It's pretty good though.
But the upload is 45 only, and I'm like, the misbalance of the scales by doing something like that.
Upload is crazy.
Yeah, like what are you guys doing? Like, that's some strategically weird shit where they do that on purpose. Yo, Google is pretty interesting, they programs. And I think that might be why they internet, because I don't understand this shit to a T, but I think an important balance is important for all of it. Google got only 2 programs, right? They got 100, and they got 1 gig, And that's so the 100 is dope for me because I was like, yo, 100 upload, like no one in Texas Earth can compete with that, But I'm like, let alone a gig up. No one I've ever known ever has the gig because they don't want to pay it. I've only had the gig when I was in Google offices, but
how much is it? It's only like $100.
It's not too bad. It's the same price as normal internet.
It's all of the gigs.
Yeah. But
they paying for my joint now. They give me $75. Now it's just like nothing.
Damn.
That's what I'd be like. I would get it. I'll be trying to get business. I'll be like, yo, what is the best you got? They always be trying to.
Yo,
it's like they don't even want to tell you. They don't even be wanting to sell you.
So I talked to Spectrum last week, and I'm like, yo, so because we finally cut I finally convinced my sister to get rid of TV in this house. So now we only on. Okay, which by the way, when you don't have TV, you actually have a cap, which makes me want to punch somebody in the face, but you actually have an internet cap. So it'd be interesting. I don't know how much internet I use to know if we're going to get penalized or not because it's been a while. But like, shit, I forgot where I was going with all this.
You tried to, because I was saying that they won't
so I'm
sell
like,
you
what's the highest
things.
I can get? The highest I can get is the program you get, 45 up. And it was like, yeah, you're not higher than business. So I was like, yo, so like, what does business have? I don't know. Like all this convolute. Like, you don't want that. You're not a bit. I'm like, well, how you know what I am? You don't know what I am.
Like, hold up. I got paperwork. Yo. Matter of fact, Clever Fox LLC.
Yeah.
Where's the business?
So I'm like, can you at least tell me what's available? It's like, look, we don't even know. Them dudes don't work weekends. They don't even know. Like, they don't even know. Like, and I'm too lazy because it's Spectrum, dude. Like, there's a 99% chance of disappointment. So I'm not gonna like. I am curious, but it's like, what kind of? We was joking the other day with black site. Why is internet black site with these companies? Why can't I just type in Google, yo, what is Spectrum business class speeds? Instead, I would get like, yo, what's your zip code? Where you available? Yeah, some crazy shit. Like, why is it a secret? You know what? If I type what's Google fiber speed, immediate answers. immediate. It's like everybody know. I could call 5 verified people I know who have it, who tell me the speeds immediately. There's no discrepancy. There's no hate. Shit just kind of work. You know,
I be thinking like sometimes like, yo, how much it just costs for y'all to just build like a line to where I don't care about the community.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. An
individual thing. Because, you know what I mean?
There's this girl on Twitch.
Fuck the development and infrastructure plan. Like,
she's in Arkansas.
Put the pole up here.
She's in Arkansas. She has 2 ISPs, she said, because, well, one, I guess, just like, you know, us and being, you know, or me being in San Antonio, you know, we're not the first in line for fast internet. So I don't know what city she's in, but she's in Arkansas. So she's been streaming on Twitch for 8 years, so she's always historically had internet problems there. But she got 2 because she needed one as backup. And sometimes the slower one, even though it's slower, it's always stable. But the faster one, sometimes it has good days and sometimes it's just this wonky shit. So she has both. But she talked to one of them, and one of the offers they said is, look, man, we could build a line to your box, and that's how you can get like the dope shit. But I think they were going to charge her like $3,000 or some crazy shit like that.
No, nah, what? It's all budget dependent.
So she talked about like talking to the like neighbors, but
don't say that, Abe. Don't say that. $3,000. Don't say that.
Why would you do it?
This is shotgun. I'm thinking about buying that cost $3,000. Don't tell me I don't think I won't hook them. Don't think I won't get the fiber plug direct from $3,000. Like, yo, Google, what's up?
You in Austin? She in Arkansas? I don't know. The land requirements there might be different.
I'm not thinking about here. I'm thinking about
the future.
Like, when I move out somewhere, like it may not be dependent when in a place like that. So I'm thinking like, yo, I would think.
I don't remember if it was $3,000.
That shit is probably like
I don't remember if it was $3,000.
Like
it might have been $20,000. Like I just don't remember. Like because you know it's not my problem. But I just thought it was interesting. I don't
care what. I don't be thinking about the price and stuff. Like if it's something that need to happen, this is the magic box, yo.
Just make it happen.
Yo, I just need fiber. The points will come. I just need to know it's possible. See, I need to know it's possible. You giving me hope now. They're like, wait, 20.
Oh, it is possible. It is possible.
Oh, yes.
Because honestly, now that you say $20,000, now that you say it might have been something closer to that. Because I do remember that there was a discussion of like the idea of rounding up all the neighbors so that they could maybe all partake in it too.
Nah,
but
homie.
She didn't want to do the effort, and she kind of was afraid they would kind of like say yes and not pay her.
I don't even want it. I don't know. I'll charge you. Maybe they could hook you up or something like that. I don't know, but this is mine. Yeah, no, that's legit. Okay, that's possible.
But it is possible, yeah, for sure.
A nonsensical castle that's going to cost some money. The Punisher van's going to be at least $50,000.
Who are we talking about? Nicolas Cage. Huh? Nicolas, that's what we talking about with castles. Nicolas Cage owning the castle.
See, he could have had fiber. He was messing around with all kind of dinosaur heads and things. You know, look, I ain't even asking
so
for
hold
T-Rex
up.
heads.
There's something you said that I don't think we talked about castles in plenty of conversation. I don't think we've talked about the Punisher van. So please maybe enlighten me on the Punisher van.
Oh, you were like, wait.
I ain't
glossed over some things.
I've never heard this in your plans before, the Punisher van.
Yo, so yeah, I'm gonna be who I want to be. All right, I'm living my narrative. You feel me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, I like the combat arms and whatnot. I like the Punisher. I like defensive things. I talk about having a castle with maybe a moat and traps for potential trespassers. That probably won't exist, but I like stuff like that. So I was thinking, like, man, that'd be cool to have an armored vehicle. But in my mind, I'm like, man, they're probably super expensive and fancy Land Rovers. Then I was like, you know what? Why don't I just fucking Google this shit and actually find out? And I Googled it, and I was just like, oh, you can buy bulletproof vans for not that much. Not what I quite thought. This is possible today. I can buy
the black rifle. The black rifle people were talking about that. Like, some people be buying that, yeah. Buying these
you could get You could
Some of
get
these
Camry.
military grade vehicles for their normal like,
You
drive.
could get low profile, so you could get like a Toyota Camry. You could get a cheap car. So they're usually expensive because a lot of the people that travel around in these cars, the market is usually people with money. So they like Bentleys now. It's already expensive if it wasn't armored, and then you're getting it armored, or some Land Rover cars that are already 100,000 and up. You know what I'm saying? But a Toyota Camry. You know what I'm saying, yo, what's up? I ain't trying to look fly. I'm trying to have the Punisher joint going. Know what I mean? But they got like vans and stuff. So I was just like, wow, even it's just a novelty because I'm gonna get the things that I want to get. I'm just like, yes, this is not only would it have been possible anyway with a certain amount. I'm like, this is possible. Now I can put a down payment and start working on the Punisher van today. Start the 18 tomorrow. But I didn't know that. So that's what I'm saying with the internet thing. Like, oh, they will you can actually get them to do that. Like, I thought that would just be like, no, we don't come build personal fucking things for people. That's nuts. We do communities, but like, oh, word, you can do it. And how much is it? Like, that's expensive. Yeah, 20K. But if you got, I'm thinking about, having a ranch 58, 20, yeah, come in, plug that shit in, dog. Plug it in.
That right home there. Fiber, that home fiber.
Yeah, right there. Nah, so that's super good to know.
You gonna have fiber in your castle before this neighborhood has fiber.
Yeah, you better. You better believe it. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. You know me to be. I'm not playing. If I say it like being serious, is
no. I was saying it's serious too. That you're gonna have fiber in your castle before this neighborhood has fiber. This neighborhood's built on
people
copper.
Like, why is there a castle here?
This neighborhood's like built on copper, and they don't seem to be in a rush to change that. So like,
you know what I'll do though? Sometimes I'll turn the Wi-Fi on. I mean, maybe I'll let one of the neighbors. I mean,
there you go.
You know what I mean, happen to be on the side of the road or something. Nah, but yeah, that's sounds like the only solution, right? Like, unfortunately, that's not the ideal solution, but it's like, all right, well, it's usually money that y'all want. How much is it, right? How much y'all want? But yeah, that's crazy. The internet. Yeah, it don't make sense. Yeah, I couldn't get, and it's not just Spectrum with the business thing. I called the place in California. When I was in Cali, I was trying to get a business, some kind of extra hookup. They don't even want to tell you how much it costs. They questioning me about who I am.
Yeah.
What do you need it for? Like, wait, what are you talking? What?
This is crazy,
right,
dude.
Never mind.
Yeah, what do you need? That's what I'm saying. Like, and the thing is, the thing that makes me fucked up about it is like, I can't tell if y'all being like just careful with it, or what's most likely is like, I don't even know what's gonna like. Are you guys like? I'm trying to process it in my head. Like, what more could you even offer? Right? I'm just knowing, like, given for my neighborhood, right? It seems like you got the same thing. You getting 900-ish down, 45 up. Business class so secret. Like, what are you gonna offer? Like that, like, is it God's gift? So is it like 2 gigs down, 2 gigs up? Like, because let's assume maybe they have something that parallels Google, and I'm like, wait, so you telling me the same thing that Google is giving everybody, right? Like, I'm not for free, but for normal.
Y'all secretly got.
But you only sell for business people, like. Because honestly, that would be the best case scenario. Because I bet you they don't have that. It's probably
it's probably not that.
It's probably just as trash, but in a weird way. You know, like, if that makes any sense.
But still, it's like I still don't even have the option of like even trying it and seeing if it's maybe let me see. It's not even anything.
See what Google real quick tell me. Business class Spectrum.
Where is Google? Or do they even expand? What's even happening with them? Do they even do anything?
Yeah. They say they're expanding forever and never do.
Yeah, no. I mean, oh, man.
That's they shade. That's they shade. Man. See, Spectrum shade is crabby service. Yo, all right. So look, check this out. Spectrum
always expanding.
Spectrum business internet. Get fast, reliable business internet. Right? Just $49 a month. Right? Just random, right? 200 megs starting speed, 600 megs for the middle, and then 940. It's the same thing you already getting with what's the difference in these plans though? It actually tells you the uploads right on the bat. 35 megabits upload speed. This is worse than what you get. This is worse. I'm actually impressed because when I look for home speeds, they don't tell me it right up front. At least they told me it right up front. That's very nice of them. It's too bad the rest of the sites don't work that way.
Google's.
Oh, you should see these graphs they have. Yo, spectrums.
Google's in Austin, right?
It is. But you not being in Austin proper, you don't have access to it? You typed your zip code in there?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not here. I'm cool now. I don't have a great need for it in all reality. But
yeah, yo, honestly,
I will never move to a city. I will have it built. I will have them build it for me. That is what I will do. Honestly,
like, I don't think anyone really needs it. Unless you're like predominantly using upload as a primary source. If you're a Twitch streamer, you're like, this is great. If you're using videos, this is great. Yo, because living in Bob's house, yo, when I was uploading videos, yo, literally like gigs of videos, just like less than a minute. It's hilarious. And he has the whack Google, like he has the whack one. I've never had that. Again, now being back here, yo, I got 10 upload speed. That shit is dog shit. That shit.
Yeah.
I put these podcasts up. I just set it and forget it, like that old commercial, man. Because that shit's gonna take a few hours. I just put like this app that don't let my Mac shut off, and I just leave it be and go on somewhere. I mean, or if I gotta use it, it's not a resource heavy thing. I just use the Mac. But that's a side project, uploading stuff. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
We'll see how it progresses.
Where I live, like I said, I kind of live relative to you in San Antonio with like literally me being northwest to downtown. But we have we have these things here that you don't notice them because of where you live, but we have these things here called like highways. You don't really have them in Austin. You got 2 straight lines, but we got these loop highways right around the city. So I live outside the loop, and it seems like everybody inside the loop got Google Fiber. I'm literally like 5 minutes from Google Fiber. It's kind of embarrassing. Because all my friends in the middle now, they were like last year, yo, Abe, you should come over and stream. Like, we got fiber now. Because I used to shit on them when I used to have to stream at their places, and it was just this dog shit internet. But
yo, Google, I'm like 5 minutes away. I don't got an extension cord or something.
Nope.
Like, you know what I mean?
Nope.
Something y'all could just stretch over.
For where I live, like we live in a fiber neighbor. They have to like remap this whole thing. And then from what I understand in like Texas, AT&T owns that shit. So they gotta like pay, Google gotta pay AT&T, and it gets into some government bullshit and blah blah blah, bribing the right people, and is it even worth it? And so so. Yeah, basically, it turns people back to what you were telling. They got pictures. People
being killed in silence.
people's sons smoking crack and like somehow stunting growth and what that, and it's the same shit. Like Google, that's what I'm saying.
Think twice about expanding. Yeah, and then they just pass you a folder.
Basically,
pictures. Basically. And you're like, that's why this is our theory on why 5G is.
They've been expanding forever. Man, Korea probably looks at us and laugh. Like, look, what the fuck's a 5G, dude? Like, are you like, what is a 5G? Same thing for Europe. Why does Europe? Because I think Europe was even playing with that. Like, why do they have such? There's like no one paying attention to this country because they're Asian. Like, as far as I know, like Korea is not using these G phones, and they seem to be murdering us in speed. Like, why are we not just doing what they're doing? I get that they're smaller, but like, there's got to be something there. Like, I never hear G anything mention with their phones, man. Like,
yeah, it sounds like money. It sounds like if you dangle some money, they'll just come build you a direct line, right? In some cases, so can't be all that hard, right? Y'all just messing around. If I come here with a suitcase full of cash, then we'll start moving, right? Oh yeah, come plug you right in for $20K. Yeah, I bet you will. Just shut the fuck up, bring that shit over here, right? Don't say nothing either. Don't smile. Just plug it in and take the money. Go away.
Get that Black Ops van. Don't even alert the neighbors.
Yeah, they put a special team that come in. Jeez. No, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe that's our fault, right? Just consumers ain't demanding fiber enough. We need a fiber revolution. We
Part
need
of
to
it is our
demand.
fault, but I do think like it is kind of weird that the world is going there. The world is catching up, and I'm like, well, you do realize like technology has helped everybody even out in turn, and even with countries too. So it's like, why wouldn't you want this for the rest of the country so we can supposedly be American and great? You know, like I don't understand it. Like, why are we? And that to me just comes from the same old, same old. Like a lot of those companies, the stiff companies from back in the day, they're never gonna move forward unless they have an incentive, whether that incentive is competition or something, you know. So AT&T,
It'll come.
Verizon, it ain't coming from no. Look, Google, right, for it's probably one of the things that they regret, right? But Google had this idea, right? Let's become an ISP, right? And it was going well until AT&T and friends started fighting them, right? But it's like then magically AT&T had fiber. Magically it's like, but whatever Spectrum is before had fiber. Like
Yo, we need Amazon to get in the game. That's who needs to get in the ISP game.
that should be done real quick. The Prime internet.
Yeah, yo,
Don't even use cables.
We need internet prime. We need internet prime for real. Bezos, get on that, yo, because then people might be shook if Amazon's like, guess what? Everyone's super fast internet right here. Everyone's super fast, and we're doing some other shit too on top of that. And you can order.
I'm
They
telling
just
you,
put it in
man.
their ecosystem. Yep, we're building our own lines. They built their own FedEx damn near. They're like, yep, we're gonna just Amazon it up and spread. Like, we need something like that to happen just to shake people up. Like, oh, okay. Like,
I don't know. I feel like they built smart things, and they built things that were like bring lots of money, and I feel like that would bring lots of challenges. That's why they build Amazon Web Services so they can own the world.
Nah. You wrong though. They be trying to disrupt into all kind of stuff though.
I hope so, though. I hope so.
They be going into healthcare. They've been trying to break into places, and it scares people.
They
Scares
should.
the other companies. They
But
like,
they
wow.
should need it because I was watching, as I've been telling you, that wrestling documentary series, and there's a lot of lessons in there, but it is a great reminder that it seems like WWF is an old ass company, and in the 80s, Vince McMahon, right, he is in that hungry mode, and he kind of murders all the other competitions and buys them all up. But once he buys them all out, then he's kind of here again, And it wasn't until he had Ted Turner inspiration where he started to get motivated. He gets knocked down, and now he's like, now he's ready to fight again. And then once he owns everybody, now he flatlining again, And it seemed,
as long as the bar get raised.
but it seemed like what it looks like if he don't have that heat coming from another company though. He not really motivated. Yeah. He just gonna chill. And I feel like oil companies are like that. I feel like communication companies are like that. And the techie companies, maybe because they all kind of go in everything, right? In every field, so they're always competing with each other, even if it's by accident. They're always kind of just disrupting and doing shit. And there's more innovation.
Well, because the heart of their job is engineering. So their prime directive is to build. Like tech though, they're not just building. So like that's where you would expect like the people that are doing it are engineers, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not business people. So their whole thing is to just be building new, more efficient, better programs, better apps, better, like even if you're just a developer by yourself, right? Like you're gonna probably want to build things the easy way, the better way to do it. It does things better, faster, and right, like discover.
So I hear that
easier
from you.
Ways to build.
I hear that from you, and it's like, all right, so innovation can't come from those companies because they don't have an army of engineers.
They don't have people that are thinking about
it's
right.
Not
like
inherent.
They do have engineers, but it's not in the same. The function isn't.
It's not inherent in them. Yeah, it's not in the default DNA.
But that'll come. Who knows? It might be. You know what I'm saying? The next people, network engineers, and people working on the next level stuff. That's just like, yo, screw that. And I don't know, but yeah, I think that's why you see it so fast in tech. And probably in medicine is the other place that you see the advances, right? The two places where the prime directive is discovery, innovation, and figuring out problems, right? Solving diseases, figuring these things out. There's always a push forward. Yes, drug companies, that stuff is that, but nonetheless, scientists and doctors and the people in that field, that's like in the nature of the game that they're in, right? So you see it fast there, I think. And in places where people just want to push the technology, like someone like Elon Musk, like cars isn't necessarily tech, super tech, it's engineering and stuff. But look, he's just like, nah, like you always said, I'm gonna build it differently and stuff like that. But I think the tech and medical space inherently incentivize like progress forward. I mean, it's almost like the point of them. Tech's not supposed to degrade. Like
sometimes it seems
even
that way.
The technology that the oil companies
as a Spectrum user, I gotta say, sometimes it seems that way. Like, it does degrade.
Right.
Oh,
and it don't even be so much that the technology is not advancing in other places too, because like there's been technological advances in a lot of fields that don't change a lot. It's just they don't have a need to really invest in it or even take it because their profits are fine. Whereas Facebook and Google and they competing against other people that are, like you just said, all over the place doing shit.
Hungry,
they also gotta keep up because they got other people discovering stuff and they in all of these crazy spaces. Like, nah.
Yo, so I just said my mom switched to AT&T to go back to that. Yo, I saw the UI, dude. And everything they're doing is pretty clean looking at the very least. But yo, I was like, I had gotten for my mom to try it, but she didn't like it. The trials for Hulu TV, live TV, and YouTube live TV. And yo, AT&T's TV, cable, whatever. The whole UI and interface and everything, it looks exactly like Hulu, yo. Like, and a lot of the features, they all come from like all of these things, the Netflix and whatever, and it's like, damn, they just, even they TV, they have to design it in such a way that it appears in the on-demand format. Like the way DVR recordings appear, like they all look like their shows now, and they got their little poster and everything, and I was like, damn, they're almost trying to perform this as a form of like, of just the imagery and kind of the control that on-demand programming gives you. It was kind of the same presentation style. I was like, damn. But I was like, man, this only comes from all these other guys being able to do it. So you guys are like, yo, we got to keep up and rip it off.
But they already probably thinking about, you know what I'm saying, the next level and working on all kind of other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
See, but
these companies are all working on crazy stuff. I don't care if it's Netflix. They probably working on AI too. They're probably working on all kind of other stuff for their little niche purposes or whatever the case. So yeah, I'm sure they're trying to see the next level.
Outside looking in, see, it just doesn't feel like the AT&Ts and Spectrums of the world are doing it. It feels like they're playing catch up. You know what? When we was canceling our TV and switching over with my mom, they trying to literally get us to sign up to Spectrum Mobile because that's their new thing, like over the last year. And I'm like, you just now getting into this? Wasn't Steve Jobs alive when this shit was hot? You know, like, and you just now catching up to, yo, cell phones might be a good idea. Like, what? like, I wonder how bad that internet is, considering how bad like the home Spectrum is. I'm like,
yeah.
That's just probably priced out the ass, yo.
And there's a lot of like young people with the tech companies too. You know what I'm saying? It's like could be like in leadership and stuff like that too. You know what I mean?
They thinking different, yeah.
It's just, and I don't know that, you know, other companies don't have like more young people at the top, but you know, they're older companies, older structures, older hierarchies,
make money,
slow moving,
everything else is stupid. Like, yeah.
But the tech is, you know what I'm saying? The tech is the tech. So it'll come no matter what. There's no stopping it. And who knows where it comes from? It don't gotta come from a company. Like some like well, you telling me the game stuff, like it just might be some dude in his basement, like this internet just going crazy. Why don't we have good internet? I don't understand. And
It might be. I
he's
mean,
like,
sometimes that's what it
I'm
takes.
gonna stop this now. And he codes something, and that's like, wow, it improves. Who knows? I don't know.
I hope
But
so, man. I would love for these companies, just like I always say, I don't mean this in the malicious way, but I'm kind of rooting for the theaters to kind of go away so we can just get that direct to consumer. I can't wait till AT&T, Verizon, and Friends all die. I can't wait. I can't wait. Like whatever something comes out, because if they're so big that if they die, it's because someone killed them with the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because they own too much shit. They own HBO. They own too. You know, they're in a bunch of other shit, but they're in a bunch of other shit because they bought a bunch of other shit. But yeah, I can't wait till they die because it'll hopefully
they're gonna
be.
die once we move from this being the cell phone being the main platform and we move to some other type of interface or device. If they're not on the edge of it, and depending on the connectivity aspect of it, like if
That's the
internet is
main
also
way. Yeah,
disrupted
if we
by
don't need,
something,
that's what we need to do. We need to disrupt internet, even if it's just it being provided by a different user and not these guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
then that'll be probably the end of them. I mean, or the beginning of the end.
I got baby quick story today. I want to let my dog out today. And I feel something crawling on me, Every now and then that's normal. It'd be like a bug or something. So I flicked it off. Then I looked at it, and then like just the auto instinct, it just went like that to shake it off or whatever. I don't know what I did, but I didn't. It did. I did it so quick that I kind of like barely remember what it looked like. But then I feel something, and I was like, "Yo, I think I just got stung by either a bee or a wasp." It was pretty big. It was bigger than a bee, so I think it was a wasp. And I was like, no, at least as far as I know, like 35. That might be the first time ever I've been stung by one of those things, And it's kind of swollen right now. But yo, that first 5 minutes, yeah, that shit was kind of like on fire. I was pretty fine and calm, but yeah, that shit was on fire. I was like, it was just bubbling, blowing up. I don't know what to do, so I kind of did the movie snake thing. I was like sucking it up just to make sure. Not like venom wise, but just in case the thing was still stuck in there, So I was trying to squeeze.
As long as you're not allergic, you good.
Yeah. But
I got stung by a bee one time in life as well. Only once I've been stung. Same kind of story. I was walking home this is in Albany. I was walking home, and I felt like a little by the side of my head.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, just like instinctually like swatted away and kept walking. And they must have just came back and caught me right in the temple. Wow. I was like, yo.
He wanted a revenge shot. He wanted a
revenge. He didn't like that. He didn't like that swat at all. It was a wasp though too. I ended up killing it and seeing it, it was dead. But yo, I was just like, wow, it was kind of on fire.
That would probably be even worse because it's on your head. Yeah, I bet.
It swole up a little bit too. I was just like, okay, well, that's a beast thing. It's like, very well.
Dang.
Very well. Definitely wouldn't want to get stung by multiple bees.
Like hell no. That would be like the Human Torch without the powers.
Yeah. Nah, I'm not messing with it. And
that would be
another. No, go ahead.
Because I said the Human Torch without the. But you didn't see that Jamie Foxx movie where we was talking about the powers and stuff.
The power book. Yeah,
there's a guy in there like Human Torch. He don't fly. He just on fire and burn shit. But in that movie, I guess it's kind of bootleg, right? The people, so he on fire, but it burned his skin, so he kind of looked like he been burned a lot. It's like a poor man's Human Torch. He don't want to use it unless he have to, because if he have to, but then he's gonna be looking like someone burned him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. But on these things in pain,
yeah,
I told you when I was in California. I was at the barracks one day and I was walking. I don't know where I was walking, and I seen just a bug that was too big for me. It was a wasp. It was mad big. It was like the size of my hand, and it was just on the floor. But when I seen it, I was like, yo, whoa. It was like down a little flight of steps, and it was just standing there. I didn't even Yeah, I was like almost like scared. Like, I don't want that thing to like come fly at me. It was big. So I just went around the other way and went about my business. And I was like, yo, I was thinking about it all day. When I got home, I was like, I just looked up like California, big wasp, whatever. And I seen it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's the wasp that I seen. I was like, it was called the tarantula hawk wasp.
That name's intense.
And and they do just what it sounds like is they hunt tarantulas. And I told you before, I was on a field op and I got woken up at night by the watch, and there were all these tarantulas all over where we were sleeping. It was at night. I don't know if they were mating, but they were just tarantulas because we slept on the floor. Now we were in our sleeping bags, but there were tarantulas crawling on people's sleeping bags. It was like, I don't know, tarantula parties. People were freaking out, moving where they were sleeping, and people were looking at the tarantulas and stuff like that. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, because I remember the tarantula thing. So they have the most painful sting of all insects. The most painful if you're to get stung. But they're not aggressive towards people, and they just usually hunt with the tarantulas. But I was like, wow, like that. If the bee stung felt like that, like that's just nowhere on the scale of this. It's like at the bottom of just other insects that are worse than like a regular bee. I was like, yo, what does that feel like then? Like getting shot or something like that? Like,
damn.
Imagine.
Yeah.
They just like, blah.
That's crazy.
God. Like, yeah, I was just like, holy, good thing I walked the other way.
I'm always afraid to, like, if I see a wasp or something, like, to kind of, like, I'm afraid to attack it. I try to mind my own business because usually they mind their own business as long as I don't mess with them. I'm always afraid to mess with them because, yeah, I'm afraid they might want to fight back. And you see, I inadvertently, man, I didn't even know. I was minding my own business. He started it, you know, like, or she, whatever. And, you know, now all I do is flick it, and he didn't like that. So now he flicked me.
Well, what's the problem, man? I was just checking your shirt out. Very rude. Very rude.
But it's probably good I did that because I might have caught it in the neck, and that would have probably hurt more, I think.
That would have sucked more. Yeah, that definitely would have been a crappy place. Yo, Texas has some big. I seen a hornet.
Yeah.
So I came out of my backyard, and there's a hole. I would see this bee flying. I thought it was a bee, but it was mad big. It was mad big, but I was just like, I don't know what it is. And I would see it flying around once in a while. I didn't see it. I came outside and Tab was like, look at that hole. And I was like, what hole? And it was like, it looked like a little like animal dug like a little hole. You could see the dirt the fresh dirt that it kicked up. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but there's a lot of cicadas around here. I know you hear them. And those are cicadas. They actually bury themselves in the earth. So I'm thinking, and they're kind of big. They could get kind of big. So I'm like, maybe it was a cicada. And she's like, no. She was like, I went out there and I saw it. Like later on, she was like, it's a big ass bee. And I was like, a big bee that dug the hole? She's like, yeah, and went in the hole. So I was like, maybe it was a murder hornet. I thought it was one of the murder hornets or whatever. So I went and looked it up. But there is a hornet. It's not as big as the hornet from Japan that they were worried about getting here. That's the biggest hornet in the world. But this hornet, it's called a cicada killer hornet. That's what it's called. I'm like, why I always be running into the killer bees and wasps and stuff, but they're called cicada killers. They're native here, but they're big as hell, and they dig holes, and that's where they lay their eggs and fly out. I just flooded that shit and buried the hole. I was like, nope, none of that. There'll be none of these here. Look it up. Look up like Texas. Look up cicada killer hornet. It's big. I wouldn't want that thing to sting me. I don't know.
Yeah, they be it's only happened once, but I think we found a scorpion in the house one time. We said cicada killer.
Yeah, cicada killer hornet.
The eastern cicada or cicada killer Texas. That's probably better. Yeah, that looked like, because there's somebody holding it in their fingers. That looked like a couple of fingers deep. Yeah. It's pretty big.
Yo, that joint, it flew into the side of the house one day. Or
damn, it got like a face. Like, you got a face that I can like look at, like a real face.
It's a real face. It has a real face.
Like, I mean, like, it's big enough that it don't just look like, because I guess, like, you can hold it and it's like, look, I could, like, it's big enough that I could do it like this. Versus, like, if I showed you an ant, you can't see shit. It's all, you need a microscope. I was like, this gotta, like, it looked like a face. Like, this thing, it don't look too happy.
Yo, if you saw the whole, it almost looked like a snake, like not even like a gardener snake, like a small snake made the hole. I was just like, yo, what bug would have made this hole? Like, that's a big, and there was like a decent amount of dirt too. I'm like, damn, it was digging in here. I thought it was like maybe a little rodent or something. I seen that the bee. I'm like, nah, negative. It sounded like a rock hit the side of the house. I was just like, man, it will fly around though. It never bothered me. I was just like, whatever. It's hunting cicadas though. Makes sense. So he ain't worried about me. He probably looking for them things. But it's big though. It's super big. So, holy moly.
Any
scorpion. Oh man, I ain't trying to mess with no scorpions.
I think it was in like a shoe or a sneaker of my sister's.
Oh man. Yo, you gotta do the sock trick out there.
What's the sock trick?
Put a sock in your, like, when you leave your sneakers or boots or whatever, put a sock in it and put the sock around the top of the lid. You know what I'm saying? Like fold some of the top around the top of the sneaker, so it's like a bag. So if anything crawls in it in the morning, take your socks out. You know, maybe it will be in there to protect it. But we were always told, just because we were in the field, I used to always do that to my boots and leave them in my sleeping bag. You always shake your boots out in the morning because you could have a fucking, you never know what might have crawled in your boot during the night. And you definitely don't want to step on no shit that's going to, you know, what the hell, scorpion sting right on your foot. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of bugged out. Scorpions, huh?
That's crazy. Well. Any music news before we do some last minute comic stuff? Call it.
No, I mean a bunch of stuff came out. Is it like I didn't really get to sort through it, but I'm not. I don't know. If, I'm gonna put this song as my song of the week, or you just any more music stuff? Nah, nothing to discuss. I think next time we'll probably have maybe some stuff, but it just was so much stuff that came out.
So yeah, I'll start throwing out things. Spider-Man 3 Sony execs. So it was the Sony one, right? Not the Marvel execs. Even though Marvel is making this movie, Sony exec. Why you going here, man? Sony exec confirms first look at Marvel movie coming in December. Movie probably hasn't even started shooting, but they're like, yo, you gonna get a trailer by December.
Why?
This is good though. This is the Marvel Spider-Man, not their other stuff. They're just saying you're gonna get a trailer by December. You know, this movie don't come out, by the way, till I think either because everything changed, so I don't even know no more. But probably summertime. Or maybe maybe August, September time, you know, like but you're gonna get a trailer for that.
Okay.
I'm trying to look for crazy shit said by the exec. Because they got like Feige quotes here, and I'm like, he don't work for Sony. Where Sony got that? But by December we'll have a Spider-Man trailer, so that's what they're saying.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
I guess there was a new Mandalorian season 2 trailer. It showed,
okay, I know people waiting for that.
It showed it showed someone else. I don't know who that is. I don't got the show memorized. I don't got their names memorized. So it's like, I don't know. Big deal and something. Let's see. Dexter returning at Showtime. I mean, that's not comics, but I was like, wasn't that show like
new episodes?
Yeah. I feel like that's They put out a thing on surprise motherfucker, he's back. That's good that they can use that in their advertising. Just surprise motherfucker.
Surprise motherfucker. That was the Dokes. That's what he used to always. That was like a tagline in it. Yeah, he was a good character. But that show towards the end, how is there how is there another thing? They
Look,
see
man,
that's something.
this is
Sometimes
Dexter on
things need to.
Showtime. This is.
Sometimes things need to stop. That show was good for like the first 4 seasons.
Then
That was
yes,
like that. This is why I stopped watching shows too, because
I'm
stuff like then
impressed.
it's just
I
like
hear you
nah.
talking right now. I'm not used to you talking
Yeah,
about shows.
yeah. This is back in the day. Yeah, back in the day, used to watch shows. Watch Dexter, a few other shows too, but then after a certain point, it's like y'all just keeping this going on, and none of this needs to be happening. And this really, like you be saying, like it actually ended on this episode.
So
Everything else after this is just, I don't know, whatever, just stuff.
this is to me, this is the IP war. Like, in that people are just desperate for IPs. Like, that's just been a trend, man. Like, where we've brought things back that are done. Like, the first thing that come to mind are sitcoms, but like, right? Had there not been COVID, we were supposed to bring back on HBO Max, I believe, the Friends reunion. You know, they did a Will and Grace new seasons for a little bit. There's a few other ones that they brought, but it's like these are things that are done. You know, like we just keep bringing them back, and it's like, why? Like, why are we bringing back all this old shit? You know, like, you know what I
They
want?
got the
They brought
name,
back
they
Full House.
package
They
it.
brought back Full House. You know what I want? And these people are probably all dead. Most of these people. I want All in the Family. Bring that one back. Not a remake. I want them to just bring that back.
Nah,
Get
I don't think
that
that's
show will
gonna
be
happen.
canceled week 1.
Yeah, for sure.
They brought back Roseanne. That was another one they brought back. They brought back Roseanne.
Yeah.
Let me see. I was looking.
Yeah, you know what it is?
I was just looking.
Mhm.
They had an article here called "Everything Canceled in 2020." I was just curious if there was anything I know. Cops got canceled for obvious reasons.
Right.
The long-running series
Right.
was
Rest in peace,
canceled
cops.
after 31 seasons in the wake of protest against police
Yeah.
brutality.
Rest in peace, cops. I mean,
Oh, this is
crazy.
A&E pulled its most popular show in the midst of unrest. Apparently, A&E's most popular show is a show called Live PD. So I guess police
Live
stuff.
PD. It was like cops. It was the same thing.
So it's cops from another channel.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
The Purge. I guess the Purge had a TV show. Canceled.
Sounds right.
Be honest, I haven't heard of most of these shows. I like this name. Bless This Mess. Like, jeez. God Friended Me. I think my mom used to watch that. I think like God added people on Facebook or something. Some weird stuff.
Word. Word.
Damn, there's a lot of shows canceled. Like, this just make me think like we can all get a show. Damn, Sorry for Your Loss. I've never heard of this, but it's interesting because Facebook had made this show apparently. I kind of forget that Facebook makes stuff because that's not on my radar at all. Like,
everybody's probably making stuff. I mean,
yeah. Like, how would I view that? Like, outside of like me having to go onto the browser of Facebook. Like, if I'm on my Roku,
that's probably the point.
Yeah, but if when I'm going to Netflix, you know, obviously if people are on the road, but it's very normal for people to either turn on a smartphone or a Roku. I'm sorry, smartphone. They're Roku or smart TV, you know? So unless there's a Facebook app there that I'm just not familiar with, you know, like.
But the business angles are different for different kind of things. Everybody's not trying to necessarily be the Netflix, but if you're trying to get people to stay on your platform more and you could do this to something people want, that's what they got to think. It's not always, I don't know that that's the strategy with it, but the reasons, and companies aren't always right in what they're trying to do, but sometimes the reasons aren't what they might explicitly seem like. I don't think Facebook's trying to be the new Netflix, hence why there's not no external thing. It's just more content for them themselves that they, I guess, you know, a mix of making content because everyone wants that now, and putting it on your platform already there. But I don't think they're trying to compete with Netflix or none of these things.
No, for
Hence,
sure.
it's in its UI there. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have no fake version of Netflix, like you were saying to AT&T, like, nah, that's not even what I don't think the approach is to there or whatever the case is.
These might be. So we might be near the end
Does
of
Google
this.
have something? Does Google have content?
I want to say no. Like just thinking right now. No, yeah, they do. But they have what they call YouTube. You know, like
Right. True.
now, are they still doing it? I'm not sure because, like I told you, Cobra Kai is on Netflix for some reason, and that was a YouTube thing. So I don't know what's going on there. You know.
Mm.
Um,
And they probably don't need to really make too much content because they already got enough people making it from them on there. Like, why even invest in this? We already have enough people driven here about all the content creators on it. Like, we don't need to be spending money making. I wouldn't make nothing either if I was Google. Honestly, like, why? I have YouTube. Everybody goes there and makes stuff. I just want people to be here. I don't need to spend no money paying nobody to make no fucking movie. I'll let y'all do it. Because people put fan movies and stuff up there too. Like people be putting their content. Like y'all do it. Cool.
I was just reading.
Gotta worry about nothing flopping.
I guess a reporter got fired for being in the. I saw this Adam Sandler movie on Netflix. It's pretty bad. But I saw it with my family, and they have like this segment in the beginning of the movie with news reporters, and they're all like, I think every girl is dressed up as Harley Quinn, you know, like you know they're just making fun of that whole time where every girl was dressed up as Harley Quinn probably. So I guess one of them was the news reporter, and she got fired for being in the movie. I guess. It just says per her. It doesn't really say. But I guess by her being in the movie, she violated her contract somehow. Because I was like, well, she's a cameo, so she's not like the movie is her. She's not like an actress. So I was like, I wonder what she did that made this illegal, you know? But who knows? It don't really say. It just said like she just says, "Hey man, I violated my contract. Sadly, they chose to get rid of me." I don't know. Oh well. You know what's the shocking revelation in that movie? Even though, like, I guess it's not that I was in denial of it. It's just not an active thought. Like, they're having Halloween in the town of Salem, and I don't think it occurred to me that one, that Salem is real, like to this day, and then two, like they kind of advertise it in that movie, like, yo, that's their biggest touristy night, like of the year, and I'm like, yo, that kind of makes sense. I wonder if that's true. Like, I wonder if Salem goes hard on Halloween. Like, people travel there and some shit, you know?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's a destination for people for that, just with the history of it and all of the witchcraft stuff and all the stuff that happened there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, they probably leverage it, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's an attraction already, I'm sure, to some degree, for the historical stuff. So yeah. Salem.
Michael B. Jordan to produce Static Shock movie for DC Comics.
Static Shock, huh?
Yeah.
I remember the cartoon. I just remember the cartoon. That's all I remember, Static Shock.
So he's going to do that, so.
I
mean, it's DC, so I'm always sketching.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm interested in that character either.
I mean, I'm open if the movie's good. I don't have like no disinterest. I remember him from like just being younger and that being a big deal, probably because he was black at the time. I think, especially, I think him even being a comic to me was a big deal. Not even like TV shit or anything, you know. I think him being a comic at the time was a big deal. That you had like a black.
Let me look up Static Shock.
He said, "I'm proud to be a part of building a new universe centered around black superheroes. Our community deserves that, you know?" So.
Oh, this is Static Shock. I wasn't thinking about Static Shock. I was
Who was you talking about?
The other thing. I don't know now. It was some blue dude that like had electricity. It was a different cartoon.
Static Shock, he's not blue?
Nah, like the dude was blue.
Like
his skin was blue.
You thinking of Jamie Foxx? Because we've been talking about Electro lately.
It's not a Marvel character. It was just a cartoon.
So yeah, Jordan's doing that. Since I just told you the Dexter stuff, Stephen Amell teases return to Arrow after Dexter revival announcement. And it was funny because you even just said it, the thing about like endings, right? And things never ending. He retweeted that Dexter's back and he said, "This is why you never say never." And this is the guy who plays Arrow on CW. But I find that funny. I was like, dude, the show just ended, I believe, this year. And you're already tweeting that it might come back. Or like the idea that maybe at some point. I'm like, that's kind of, I don't know. That also makes me think, and I don't know. I've never really watched that show like that. I've only seen him in the crossovers. But that also makes it sound like maybe it even wasn't his idea to cancel it. But here's the
I was thinking about Freakazoid.
I gotta type that in.
You'll know it when you see it. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh, that is totally different.
Yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, that's not
like that's not a black man at all. That's not a black... Unless he was.
Yeah, when you said he was black, I was like, wait, I don't think Static Shock was black. Pretty sure it was just a blue crazy dude. It was like, man, that's why I was like, I'm not interested in that. I was like, I didn't even know that was a DC character, but yeah, I was thinking about Freakazoid.
This is the saddest story here. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, the guy from the other Spider-Man movies that you forgot. They're not cast in Spider-Man 3 per Sony. Because a lot of people have been getting hype about the idea of all three of them being in the same movie. Let's see. That was mainly it. And then I'm just looking at the top 10 stories here. Coca-Cola announces it will stop making Tab. I don't even know what that is, but all right.
It's one of their sodas.
Let's see. Disney investor urges company to move Marvel's Black Widow to streaming. I hope so. Will not happen, but I hope so. It ain't gonna happen. Who is this Disney investor? Is this guy who he owns like 5 stocks, or is it like somebody real?
No, it's probably somebody that, or the group, or a group of them.
Top Disney investor. Look, he only got a name. It's just a top Disney investor. Days before announced a restructuring that would immediately shift its primary focus to streaming via Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu platforms. The company sent Pixar's Soul straight to streaming for a Christmas Day release on Disney Plus without Mulan's access fee. Dan Loeb, the hedge fund manager for Third Point, with roughly $1 billion in stake in the company.
Loeb.
Yeah, Dan Loeb, son. He's out here. Says he got $1 billion in the company. Says sending high profile.
That's who said it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Says sending high profile films like Black Widow to Disney Plus would attract new subscribers while retaining current customers.
Yeah, he's a person for sure. Dan Loeb.
I mean, like, I want it to come too, but I don't think that's the best reason. Yo, that just seems like a reason you're kind of pulling out of the air. Yo, mad people would come and it would keep the people you have already. This guy sound like a Marvel fan. like he want to see this movie. That's what that reason sound like. You don't even sound. There's no numbers here or nothing. It was mad new people would show up if you put this movie.
Come on, man. Shit makes sense, right?
What Netflix has is this immense subscriber base that allows it to invest in an enormous amount of content and amortize it to get more subscribers. Disney isn't there yet. They need to get there as quickly as possible. If they don't get critical mass in their subscriber base, they will be permanently disadvantaged in Netflix. So, reading that, this is something I've been saying both like to you and other people, like, because I remember when Disney comes out, I used to be of the mind, like, man, what is Netflix going to do? And now all these boss companies showed up. I mean, we never really could have predicted COVID, like, right? No one factored that in. But COVID kind of brought everybody down to Netflix level probably before they were ready, you know? And yo, I am probably not the best I'm not the best reflector of what the world is doing, but that Disney app don't get used too much by me, yo. That Disney app don't get used at all probably by my sister. And my mom is probably the most because she she might randomly want to see like a movie from the 90s and I'm like, yo, it's on Disney. Just pull it up, you know?
Right.
Cause honestly, Disney has probably more shit. Yeah, Disney is unfortunate. Some people like watching shit again. I don't. But what Disney is, it's the nostalgia app, dog. Like, you remember that cool shit you saw back in the day? Even if back in the day was a year ago.
Like that.
No, but I mean,
look
it
at it as
is
a kids app. I look at it as an app with kids content on it.
But let's say you a kid. Let's say you a kid then. What new shit is dropping? Like, and obviously there's a bunch of kid shit, you know, that not privy to. Like, they have some shit that my sister thought was cute, like something about
there's mad Disney shows that come out that are on.
That's like pure Disney. That's what I'm saying. So those are like some kid shit. Maybe.
What are you talking about?
Maybe in terms of like. Maybe it is the kids app then if we're gonna play it, but I don't know, man. A lot of that stuff.
It's cartoons and Disney movies.
But look, all right, let's go with the kid stuff. And I don't really know this 100% because I'm not diving. I don't know the app, right? And I don't know Disney Channel, right? But they do structure a lot of their shit in the originals, right? You can easily put the thing to just show the originals. A lot of that kid shit has come out elsewhere before. So even if you a kid, kids are different, but like they may have already seen it on, Disney Channel. YouTube Disney, whatever Disney, because they're not flooded with originals yet of kiddie shit. You know what I mean?
Kids aren't looking for that though. They're not. They're not. No, that's true. They're a different market. They have a different consumption pattern than an adult who's deliberately looking at all of this stuff. They're just looking for cartoons and stuff. If you just put cartoons on YouTube for a kid, they'll watch it. If you put Disney on, they win on the nostalgia side because parents know that that's kid content that they're going to get. And yeah, they might be able to relive whatever and watch some old shit, but it's not for, unless you like watching movies, like you said, over and over again. I don't really see it serving a single male like you, unless you a Disney fanatic. For me, I have Orion. So, when the Disney gets at you, when it's playing that stuff, yeah, I could do YouTube and stuff too, but there's just a lot of it right there to just, all kind of kid shows and stuff like that. So I just see it as a kid app. Like, there's nothing really on there for me unless I want to rewatch Star Wars or some of the Marvel movies. But that's like super nit. That's like a small component of all of the stuff that they even have there. So it's like, it's a little bit of stuff that I might like, but this app isn't. I don't think it's for adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Hulu's probably more geared towards me, or ESPN. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch sports, but I don't view Disney as like a adult brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Disney World is for adults, but adults have fun there when they're
I know you say that a lot. I know you, but I'm like, there's a ton of adults who I'm like who really love Disney.
Because it's an amusement park and people still go.
No, but you just say the Disney products either, but I feel like there's a ton of adults.
No, I don't. It's not an adult brand, is what I say.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
it just isn't. Neither is amusement parks, but adults still go to amusement parks. So yes, there's a draw for Disney. For adults,
it's Six Flags for kids.
Kids products have to be advertised towards adults because kids don't have no money.
Is Six Flags for kids?
It's for it's for kids. I'm not. What range of kids you talking about?
I don't even know. I was just curious because I was trying to remove the childhood.
You're trying to nitpick.
I was curious.
When do you stop being a kid? When did you go to Six Flags? Were you going to Six Flags?
I hate all those places. I
don't like amusement parks either, but I remember. But I remember the window that I had the most opportunity to do it was in my childhood. Occasionally, as an adult, people might have wanted to go to Six Flags. But this is like maybe in my early 20s. I ain't never heard nobody 25 and after that age, that was my age, really, do that. But people still, go to have a fun day at the park. But I still think it's mostly something for kids to go on water slides. I know people like roller coasters and have fun, but I don't know if that's the commercials don't show mad old people in the water park dance. I could go there, but and if a kid's there, then it's probably got to be adults there, right? Like obviously, because again, kids don't have money. The kids can't go do whatever they want to do. So yes, you're gonna make things for me to be there too. But and nostalgia. If you were a kid later on, you bring your kid to, all of that stuff is in there. But I wouldn't say Six Flags is for a 35-year-old man to go to, and the commercials don't seem like that. I don't see grown men, balding men screaming and having fun on the, you know what I mean? It's young, youthful looking people. You know what I mean? Disney World, if you ever seen the advertisement, it's families. It ain't a bunch of single dudes and, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, to me, I don't know if you think Disney's for adults, you could think it's for adults. I just think it's a kid product, but obviously serves adult purposes because of the nuances there. But nah, I don't think Marvel's an adult. Like, I don't look at, I told you with the comic book, like, I don't think that it was like adult level content, but I still enjoyed it. And so I think there's probably a demographic that Marvel targets particularly, and it's probably a younger one. It's probably not me. It's probably not a 35-year-old dude. However, they can capture some of that market, the nostalgia people, the other, you're gonna get the little pockets in the other demographics. But am I the person Marvel's targeting, like as a whole with comics and everything? Nah, Spider-Man, I'm 35. You know what I'm saying? I got a mortgage to pay and shit, and I did that already. I appreciate it, but I don't think they trying to get me to be their prime. Yo, we need to get all the old people that like our shit in here. That's who we going. That's not what's going on. You know what I mean? And if I had to take a guess, people reading comic books now are probably around the age, the majority of them are probably around the age where we were reading comic books. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. The movies are seem directed at like a wider audience. You know what I'm saying? Like that's definitely trying to get adults and people, if you just like action or stuff or whatever the case. But I don't know. You just got the nostalgia. Me and you just got that aspect because we older. You know what I mean?
He goes on to say more stuff, but I mean, he's pretty much just saying like, streaming is where it's at. Stop clinging to the theaters. So I won't keep going. He said all that on CNBC. Here's the final thing. We don't really know much about this world. Which, by the way, there's an ad here showing me the Monster Hunter trailer. This is not what I was gonna bring up, but it's just making me think of that again.
Now that you said all of that, I don't think Disney will ever overtake Netflix as being the primary thing, because Netflix is just a wider net. Like it's just has stuff for everybody, where Disney is really kind of limited to mostly kids stuff. And yeah, Star Wars and Marvel's there. And most of the Marvel stuff is kid stuff. It's not even the movies. So that's new.
There's a quote here from the CEO of Disney that in August they reached their 5-year goal in just 8 months of subscribers, right? And predicted 200 million subscribers by 2025. So they have 60 million subscribers right now. But yeah, what I was saying is like the reason why I was saying some of that though for me is that they don't, kid or not, they don't put out enough new content. And obviously, right, as a bias, right, that interests me. But they just don't, for the things I'm interested from Disney, there's nothing new coming out, like from that,
right.
And just from the old app. So I'm even counting National Geographic. Because honestly, when I'm cooking like pastelillos, which I did today, I will put on the Disney app. But I'm always going to go to National Geographic because it's a very nice background to whatever I'm doing in the kitchen, But that aside, I'm like, I never go there on purpose for like, I wonder which Friday, what came out. I actually do open it up on Fridays, but it never ever is anything interesting, you know? Um,
I don't think they need to for their core audience. I
that's
don't think
fine.
it's necessary for kids.
But even for kids, they don't need to like put out new stuff like that the way all the other people.
They do. You don't know what's coming. You're not watching Disney
No, but
shows.
I
Tell me what
open it
the
every Friday and I see their feed of 8.
Yo, they're all mad episodes of cartoons. Kids could watch the same episode. You don't have a kid
I know.
either.
I'm
That's
just
the
looking
thing.
at their new stuff. That's all I'm looking at is their
And you
new
don't remember
stuff.
being a kid.
All right, but
Yes,
I'm just looking at their new shit.
I
That's all
liked
I'm saying.
watching new stuff as a kid too, but a lot of I would just watch cartoons.
No,
It
no,
didn't
no,
matter
no,
if it
no,
was
no.
a
I'm
new
not even saying
episode
what
or
I
old
liked as a kid
episode.
is new. I mean, I open it every Friday just out of curiosity to
I'm
see.
talking
Yeah, yeah.
about child
I get it.
consumption
I get it. I
behavior
get
for the
it.
type of shows you're talking about. They don't need new
New
episodes
stuff.
every week.
I
And
got
they
you.
have a wide range of people in the age group. So the people that are the stuff for 3 to 4 year olds and to 6, they don't need new. They're not look what's gonna happen next week on Block People. Are they gonna teach a new alphabet lesson? Like, no, they don't need to do all of that. And there's probably they trickle whatever new stuff in there for the kid. There's enough stuff there that they could keep, I think, their target audience like fine for a while. You know what I'm saying? I'm not concerned if new episodes are coming out for anything for Orion. As long as he's satisfied with the current lineup, yo, whatever. You know what I mean? Parents ain't concerned about that either. Oh, is a new content coming out for their kid? Like,
Well,
nah.
they did say this week though, that being said, that they're restructuring the entire company, Disney, and that their primary focus is to shift streaming to Disney, ESPN, and Hulu. So even they've noticed, you know, and that's probably because of COVID, to be fair. But you know, like, and just seeing what happened to their output because of COVID.
They're shifting what to streaming?
Their primary focus now, instead of being the theaters, will now they're restructuring the company that for an immediate shift in its quote primary focus unquote to streaming on those 3 platforms: Disney, ESPN, Hulu. You know.
Yeah, that makes just sense. I don't know if that has anything to do with what we just spoke about.
Well, no, but I mean, like, well, maybe in this world though, like where the theaters stopped, and that is a significant part of their income is movies dropping. Some of which includes that children content. Because I saw this movie with my mom, but there was a child movie around June that they dropped streaming that was supposed to be a theater movie.
Well, if theaters are closed, then what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
It's just
but
like
I think
an obvious.
this is forcing
pivot.
them to do that pivot, like which maybe they might have not jumped. Maybe they don't ever jump as quick in a world where they can still keep jumping the movies every month the way they
But
were
does
doing.
that mean they're gonna be making more content, or that they're just gonna focus on just putting the content that they plan on making there? It doesn't indicate that they're gonna like change all aspects of their strategy. They're just, I don't know what that means. We're focusing on streaming. Does that mean like, all right, we're gonna
It said
start doing our
primary focus. It
theatrical?
just said their primary focus.
We're gonna start doing our things there. We're gonna start making more original content on there like that. Yeah, they might. And I take it that most of the original content that they make will be children's content because it's Disney.
Mm.
And I don't think they'll ever overtake Netflix in terms of subscriber or user base because it's niche. If you want to watch Predator, if you want to watch a thriller, if you want to watch any other genre of movie,
Well, Predator's on Hulu, so technically, right? Well, it's a Fox.
I'm talking about Disney. I'm talking about Disney specifically.
Got you.
And they own it. So, right, that is where, if anything, they would be trying to deal with Netflix and putting out, and they do. There's original Hulu content, right? So they have that little division dealing with that kind of stuff. I don't know how often Hulu original content comes from, but that's Disney, right? So there's the wing of original content coming out. Like, I don't know what original content you want on Disney. Like, you just want Marvel and that stuff. Because other than that, what content would you be getting? Just a bunch of kids stuff that you wouldn't care about in the first place. So yeah. So yeah.
And to be fair,
things we like.
To be fair, in a COVID world, I'm sorry, in a non-COVID world, we're actually already getting that Marvel content. Not just in theater too, but on the Disney app, you know? So
Yeah,
it was just in this
but
world, they kind of weren't ready for any of that, you know? Because they were so theater dependent.
they could start leveraging like, because yeah, I mean they could start doing more Mandalorian kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
I
That they
think
could
that is
definitely
what's gonna
start.
happen. I mean,
That's what
like
they need to start doing. But it's still gonna be Disney though.
all Marvel TV is gonna be on there. Like we'll probably never get, you know, even though the Netflix shows were whatever the Netflix shows were, right? When you brought up Punisher shooting Daredevil in the head, we may never get something like that again. Because that's the maybe the negative effect. As cool as the Marvel universe is, that might be the negative effect of the Marvel
National
Disney.
Geographic don't be releasing mad stuff.
I
I
think they
feel like
do,
they would be.
but that's never on the Disney front page. I need to click on the Nat Geo front
That's
page.
what I'm saying. You still looking at the kids side, looking for ill stuff. Like
Every
they
once
probably
in a
do
while, the Nat
release.
Geo sneaks into the main Disney hub, or they like to remind me that The Simpsons is we have it here too. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. So no, I think they got. It's just not stuff that we care about. So I think
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
got a bias towards it. Just like they not really doing nothing. Because for us, they're not. It is just legacy stuff. It is just a nostalgia channel for me. At the end of the day, like until they release a movie from Marvel or something, like there's nothing. I'm not looking out for. I don't even know what cartoon or something on there. Whatever.
I should probably end
Paul.
it. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Paw Patrol got canceled as well.
What is
Them in
that?
there with the cops. Paw Patrol was a cartoon for kids about puppies that were police.
Damn, the kid cops got canceled.
It was about puppies that were police
The
and stuff.
puppy
And
cops got canceled.
homie.
Dang,
Nah,
cancel culture has no mercy. Not even
all
for
right.
puppies.
He used to like that show too. He used to want to watch it. But I'm like, nah, man, they got rid of it. Them dirty dog cops was beating up cats and stuff. You couldn't have that on Disney.
Oh man.
But yeah, they got rid of that. So
Final story that would have been a big deal in the 90s, but maybe to people like us, you know, not so much. In January, new DC comic book event, Future State.
What's that?
DC Comics' current multiverse crisis event, Dark Knight's Death Metal, will come to an end in January, and it will spark a new DC event, DC Future State. It will gives fans a new look at the future of the DC universe, and this covers here of, you can even scroll down, I'll just send it to you on Discord. But, I mean, even the comic book is called, it's interesting, I guess Batman is called now The Next Batman. Superman of Metropolis. And Justice League look rather different. Yeah, I sent it to you in Discord. But, I mean, that's just where DC is going, I guess, you know? It's not like we follow up with this like the way we used to.
Yeah, the comics is going into some new realm or something like that.
Yeah. Just new universe stuff. They got a bunch of comic book covers, actually.
Might be some cool stuff in there. Yeah, not that we would check it out, but
damn, Robin Eternal. You know, just that name just sounds crazy.
Yeah, what's happening? Jeez.
Superman, Worlds of War, and he has like chains, and he's like beating people.
Zack Snyder's writing the comics.
Superman versus Imperious Lex. This looked like some crazy shit. I don't even know what that means. Wonder Woman. 2 Wonder Woman covers. Green Lantern. Damn, the Flash looks like a demon is killing the Flash. Looks like a Flash demon is killing the Flash demon with the other Flash.
Yeah, Zack Snyder behind all of that.
It looks like there's a Flash demon actually. There's 3 dead Flashes in the back about to kill the current Flash. Aquaman looked like a Disney movie. Because it's just people surfing on. Yeah, you ain't click the link and scroll down. You can see these comic book covers. It was like, Teen Titans. So yeah, stuff is happening in comic book land.
Okay.
Oh man, it's an ill Swamp Thing cover with the Statue of Liberty being all Swamp Thing out.
Nightwing. Yeah, they got mad different covers here.
But all right, songs of the week. This is our longest podcast ever. We crossing into Rogan territory. Songs of the week. You want me to go, or you go first, or what?
I'm gonna just put those 2 songs that I sent you. Mozambique Drill and Eedeot Bwoy. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct, but they're by Mach-Hommy. Yeah, I like those 2 songs. I kind of like the vibe from it. And then just a bunch of new, and that, Flu Joints off the Black Thought. But yeah, those 2 songs, that's it.
So, I don't know if I got more than one song. I could find it, but it just might be one song. And it's a song that came out before the Benny the Butcher album, but it's on the album. Benny the Butcher, legend. And I'll be liking that, like, kind of that narrative shit, like that Rush be putting out. And I like the chorus in here. Benny is like, they said I'm gonna be a legend soon. Shit. I'm a legend now. That's real shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that song too.
Yeah.
I was listening to that song a few times.
I heard that shit. Just like with the way he says that shit, I was like, fuck yeah, dog. Like a legend soon? Nah, son. I'm a legend now, yo. I just thought that was dope.
That's how you gotta be.
Yeah, man. Let me see.
Legendary.
Every time I hear you say legendary, I always think of the Royce Legendary song. That's my favorite track with the words legendary in it.
That flow, yeah. Royce go crazy on that.
But nah, that's my track of the week. Benny Butcher Legend. So yeah, man. That's it. Last words?
You know what I mean? Just think. Use your noggin out there. That's all.
There you go. All right, man. Bake that chicken, smoke that turkey. Boosh.